Among Us Skinfall, Coma. And everybody else here, my name is La Vida Virtual Life, and I'm happy to have you guys. My name is, I'm super tired. I've been at the hospital all day. We got up super early, so I'm going to do my best to stay awake. Hey, Mr. Krabs, we're starting episode 4 of the great Ace Attorney Adventures, Clouded Kokoro. We're starting episode 4, boys. Let's, I'm gonna try to stay awake. I've had some coffee, but, I'm super tired. super tired. Let's play. How are you today, Coma? Krabs? Oh, here we go. The Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro.
I begin to think, Wilson, said Sholmes, turning his head languidly in my direction.
Oh,
that there is more to this case than that which we have observed. Indeed,
hey, right,
there may be another part to the story that we are yet to discover. His eyes wandered, following the steam rising from his cup of herbal tea.
Good to see you.
Him to the distant memory of
You're
that
back.
snowy evening.
Got showbox.
To the young lady collapsed on the pavement along Briar Road.
Oh, who's
to
that
the
lady?
knife in her back.
Jenny's got a
Yet in the soft
gun.
glow of
Hey,
gas
right,
lamps, a most
welcome back.
extraordinary scene had been set.
Jenny's
And
got
under the cover
a
of a white
gun.
fog, the curtain had risen
I'm
silently
gonna try to
on
post
the
a music
insoluble mystery
video
of
here
our
in a
invisible
little bit.
killer.
Once we get a few more subs, I'll post a music video. It's old video, but I think you guys might like it. It's a recording I made in France. Long time ago. Mr. Krabs with the $1 donation! Pog to the crabs. I'm doing the Krabby dance. I'm doing the Krabby dance. Thank you for the donation. I'm doing the Krabby dance. Clap, clap. Thank you, Krabs. Need more? No. Oh, I have good news, yeah, but let me get this. I have good news about Mama Vida, but let me get the stream started here, huh? 19th of February. I'm so tired. I've been up since like 3 in the morning. I'm exhausted, but I'm going to stream for you guys because I missed you guys. British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. Did you sleep last night, Mr. Naruhodo? No, not at all. It was an enormous hotel, wasn't it? The rooms were so luxurious, I feel like we were staying in a palace. And with all the gas lights twinkling, it was brighter than day even in the middle of the night. What about the enormous beds? After my time on the SS Buria, I wasn't going to waste a single inch of that space. I spent the entire night rolling from one side of the mattress to the other. No, thank you, Krabs. I don't need the money. We're very lucky, and also, that's not why I stream, for money. I stream because I get to meet amazing people from all around the world, like Coma and Raitza and Krabs, dude. Amazing people. And I get to feed my addiction, which is video games, right? Oh yes, it was really the sort of night you can only dream of normally. Except, when I learned that we owed £3 for the rooms, that dream quickly turned into a nightmare. I'll tell you in a minute, Krabs. Oops, sorry about that. The building was so impressive and the entrance so inviting, I just wandered in without thinking. In a lodging house in Japan, that sum of money would put a roof over your head for a whole year. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't help my tears when we were presented with the bill. Oh, I really am sorry. Well, never mind. We must find some more affordable lodging straight away, though. If we're not careful, our entire stipend will be used up in 10 days or less. Ugh, London is a scary place. Good morning to you at this early hour. Yes, 'tis I. Oh, yes, we are, well. Good morning to you, Lord Chief Justice. We have come to report on the outcome of the trial at the Old Bailey yesterday. Susato-san is amazing. She doesn't bat an eyelid even in the presence of imposing Lord Strongheart. Yes, I believe I had a very comprehensive initiation into the British courtroom practices. Oh, yes, it was very eye-opening, thank you. And, in accordance with your instructions, Lord Strongheart, Mr. Naruhodo performed his duty to the end.
Yes, I've already been appraised of events.
He's the bad guy. Look at him. He is a bad guy. 'Cause he's a bad guy. Make me really mad guy. Look at all that hair guy. Life is not fair guy. He's a green guy. Kind of as a mean guy. Passed your test for him guy. Now he'll put you in jail. Blah. Beat a mom, get robot voice.
You conducted a remarkable defense. You may consider the test passed. Oh. No longer are you a student from the Empire of Japan. You may henceforth claim to be a fully fledged lawyer. My country is delighted to welcome a young talent from such a remote eastern land.
Thank you very much. So, I'm a lawyer now.
Yo! Now, in view of your new appointment, I have a fresh case in mind for you. I'd like you to take it on at once. I trust that won't be a problem.
Another case already?
Nothing trains a lawyer better than practical experience. I'm sure. I don't sense dissatisfaction, do I?
It's just that yesterday's trial ended unusually. I haven't quite come to terms with it.
What's to come to terms with? The man was cleared. What more were you hoping for?
Mama Vida got a brain scan today, Mr. Krabs and everybody. And while the cancer will probably never fully be eliminated, the good news is the radiation that she had on her brain worked really, really well. And everything has been shrunken or gone completely, so we're really, really happy. You know, it's not curable. When you reach stage 4 cancer, it's not curable. But we are so happy, so we celebrated. It was awesome. We had 2 breakfasts. I had lovely food, and we got pizza for later tonight. And what else did we do? Oh, bagels, too, for later. It was a really good day. So I'm exhausted, but I'm so happy. And you know what else makes me happy? Getting to hang out with you guys, so... Anyway, if I sound like an absolute idiot today, it's because I'm running on fumes. I've had no sleep at all almost. I was super worried about Mom. But we were really, 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 really happy today. So, anyway, I'm going to do my best, okay? Vita Mom voice come back. She's going to have an injection, which should help. I don't think it's ever going to come back, but it should help. We're going to have that in a couple of weeks. So, thanks for asking, Krabs. Anyway, back to the game.
The culpability of the defendant has not at the present time been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment.
Well, my Lord 1-6, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense.
He's a bad guy, dude.
It's a me, Waluigi. I'm gonna win.
I just can't help wondering if Mr. McGilded really was innocent. Mr. Naruhodo! It's just that I never managed to ascertain the truth. And then the trial ended.
Oh, well, you needn't let it trouble you for a second longer.
Sorry? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart?
Magnus Begilded passed away immediately following the trial.
No! What? Mr. McGilded is dead?
I'm just a wee leprechaun. I've been sent over me rainbow. Somewhere over me rainbow I did die. I tried to find me pot of gold, but inside I just fried. I fell into a burning fire, crispy side. Now my old Irish arse is burned, and I surmise after the case I did a win, my lawyer tried to talk me into leaving.
I have 19 minutes and 41 seconds until my next engagement. Time enough to talk.
Sunday.
Okay. 5 watching? Oh, thanks, guys. You are wonderful. Appreciate it. Oh, 1 like. Oh, no, we have a few likes. Thank you. You guys are too kind. McGilded's death. I don't understand. What happened? How can he be dead?
After the trial concluded yesterday, there was a great commotion in the Old Bailey. As you presumably recall, an omnibus has been wheeled into the courtroom. It was then set on fire.
Yes, of course. That was the scene of the crime which Mr. McGilded had been accused of.
Coded.
The goated. How are ya?
Precisely. Well, while the bailiff's attention was diverted by some other manner, the omnibus went up in flames.
No. How could such a thing have happened?
That is being investigated as we speak, but already...
He did it. It was him. It was Strongheart. It was him. It was him. It was him. Krabs and I agree. How are you, Coded?
The police have identified a corpse found inside the charred shell of the carriage as that of Mr. McGilded.
That's awful.
The man must have slipped inside whilst the bailiff's attention was elsewhere.
That bailiff really needs to pay more attention. And how could have that happened?
That is also being investigated as we speak.
Look at him. He looks evil, dude. It's totally him. Thinking back now. Immediately after the trial, Mr. McGilded did mention going back into the courtroom to look at the omnibus. We don't know, no.
Well, I must be making tracks now. I'm about to die. In the next episode, you'll be trying to figure out who'd killed me. But I'm not gonna tell you, 'cause I'm a sneaky little whippersnapper that I be. I'll see you in my dreams. Every time I dream of you. The only thing we'll ever do, 'cause I miss ya, baby. And I don't wanna miss a thing. Well, I must be making tracks now. 'Tis time for the inspection.
Yesterday you beat the Beast as the Lost and Tainted Lost and almost have Godhead and Ultra Greed. Pog, Coded. I have one more. On my first file I have one more post-it to complete. And that's it. Only one more. Then I have to do the secrets, but yeah. So maybe we finish that today. Who knows? Sorry, what inspection?
They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself.
An inspection of the omnibus? Not to my knowledge. I don't believe Scotland Yard had any intention of re-examining the carriage.
But well, who was Mr. McGilded talking about?
Never mind that for now. The Yard is making a thorough investigation. 'Tis a matter is no longer of any concern of yours. Leave it to the police.
Poor Mr. McGilded. He got marshmallowed. He got roasted inside a carriage like a marshmallow. Poor Mr. McGilded. Peter! Aha! Boo! A wild Peter appeared. Peter appeared. He caught me streaming. Not that that's very hard to catch me, Peter. I stream every day. How are you? Happy summer vacation's almost over for me. I only have 2 weeks, bros. Sucks.
Bleh. I don't want to go to school, Mommy. Can I stay home and play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney all day?
No, you gotta go make money, bitch. Rent ain't cheap here. Eh.
Okay, you're gonna lurk on COD. Thanks for the lurk. I appreciate you, Peter. Thank you, thank you.
So how did you find your first taste of the country's Supreme Court?
Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, it was wow. Oh, mamacita, it was wow. Mr. Naruhodo means the whole experience was steeped in the solemnity of Great Britain's long history. It's really a world apart from our own judicial system in Japan, with only a few short decades old. Wow, Susato-san has such a way with words. And you seem to have a way of failing to find the right ones, too.
The judicial system here is the most advanced in the world. Learn all you can.
The most advanced in the world, is it?
I was fortunate that your very first trial was a simple affair.
Simple? That was simple?
As I believe I mentioned yesterday morning, it was a trial you couldn't lose.
I don't mean to be contrary, Lord Strongheart, but that case was anything but simple.
Ah.
The circumstances of the case were so incriminating I was stunned when I first heard them. In fact, I still find it hard to believe that we managed to get a favorable verdict.
I was pulling strings behind your back, baby. Strongheart, baby. Yeah, that's what the ladies call me, baby. Cheeto Chop.
Is this something funny? Why are you talking like Austin Powers? He hasn't been invented yet. It's like 1900, bro.
No, my apologies. However, the fact is that you did receive the not guilty verdict you set out to achieve.
Huh?
And that can only be attributed to exceptional talent, wouldn't you agree?
Well, I don't know about that.
Aww. Well, never mind. You exceeded my expectations, I freely admit it. That much, at least, is the undeniable truth. Which is precisely why I prepared the new case for you that I mentioned before.
What's going on? What was he going to say before? He set it up! It was a setup. It was a setup. I'm telling you, he's the big villain in this. I'm gonna call it right now. It's pretty obvious, right? Could you perhaps give us some more details about the new case you mentioned? Don't tell me it's a murder and the trial starts in 10 minutes.
Don't worry, nothing so alarming or quite as urgent as your last assignment.
Kara Pixar movie new show. I haven't heard of it before, Krabs.
In fact, this case is completely different.
Oh, I see. Did he just read my mind?
That is to say, no one has died as yet. And the trial will not be today. There is plenty of time to research the case thoroughly. 23 hours, 43 minutes, and 19 seconds to be precise.
So the trial's tomorrow then. Is everything alright? Oh yeah, I just wet myself a little. I'm just a little confused is all. Yesterday's trial was... well, it left me wondering if I really cut out for being a lawyer. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. I don't know if I could face standing in that courtroom again after Mr. McGilda's trial.
Ah, yes, I nearly forgot. There is one similarity with yesterday's case. Once again, there is currently no one to advocate for the defense.
Oh.
If the situation remains unchanged, the trial will start tomorrow with the defendant unrepresented. And if that happens, I need not remind you of the inevitable outcome.
The most terrible end awaits the defendant. Yo, this music's pretty boppin', dude.
Yes, that's right.
Ah, here we go again.
Your time is up. You will have to excuse me. I would advise you to begin making preparations for tomorrow's trial. After all, the clock is ever ticking. Tick-tock, tick-tock. There's now but 23 hours, 26 minutes, and 39 seconds until court sits.
Last time he mentioned 23 hours, he said there was plenty of time.
And one more thing. Mr. Naruhodo, there's something I should like to ask you.
Oh, what's that?
Yesterday you remarked upon something. That you intend to see through the will of your late compatriot, Mr. Isogi. I would be interested to hear what exactly you mean by that. Inside 34 seconds.
Oh, well, Cosmo always used to say, you see, that he wanted to learn how the greatest justice system in the world works so he could change ours in Japan. Now that he's gone, I'd like to work towards that myself. And there's another thing. Oh.
Another thing, continue.
On the way here, on the steamship, he said something to me. There was something very important that I have to do.
There's something very important that I have to do.
Very important, and what exactly would that be?
He never had a chance to tell me. I suppose he would have done if he'd ever made it to Great Britain.
You're out of time. Well, thank you for an enlightening discussion.
Mr. Naruhodo, what's all this about? Mr. Asogi never once mentioned any sort of thing to me. That's because I was his boyfriend. You should have cuddled up to him like I did. I got to even sleep in his dresser while I was being smuggled into the UK. I bet you didn't ever get to play inside his dresser. Yeah. Don't be jealous now. Don't be jealous now.
Oh, man.
I urge you both to focus your attentions on the matter at hand, not some dead boy. I've taken the liberty of summoning the police inspector in charge of the case. He'll be able to appraise you of the details.
How long has he been there?
So, I wish you the best of luck, and bid you farewell.
He's a bad guy, Krabs. He's a bad guy.
Duh.
There's something very important that I have to do. Kazuma-sama, what did you mean? I wish I knew, but honestly, he never told me. Anyway, we better talk to the detective, don't you think? Yes, you're right.
Irashai.
I hope I'm just imagining, but I wouldn't say he looks pleased to see us at all. Okay. All right. Could we trouble you?
What do you think?
Lovely weather, isn't it?
What's the weather got to do with anything?
Ha ha ha.
Listen to me, you young Japanese upstart. Some flippery about the weather doesn't get every English jet eaten out of your hand, you know.
But Susato-san told me it was foolproof.
I'm a busy man. I'm a very busy man. Oh, I'm eating these big chips and fish right out of me hand, don't you see? There's a crime scene to investigate, but I'm here having to give the likes of you a talking to.
Oh, I'm ever so sorry.
Can you imagine what the other officers there will be saying, eh? Haven't seen Gregson anywhere, have you? No, he's too busy with the bigwigs these days. And all because of some bumpkin here who's on a joint from a country I'd never heard of. Hey, the ripping sound, that's my reputation at the yard going to tatters.
There's no need to rip us apart as well. I don't believe we've been introduced. This is Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, a defense lawyer.
Eh?
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
You got Mom's knife, poggies.
GG's. Run over, Coded. You got this, bro. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Sue.
Eh?
It's lovely weather we're having here today, isn't it?
It's unseasonably fine, I grant you. London winters don't see a lot of sunshine.
Unbelievable. How did she pull that off?
So, Lord Strongheart asked me to fill you in on the case.
Yo, the music. The music, dude. Holy shit. It's freaking awesome, dude. Bop up. Bop up. Bop up. Bop up. Bop up. I love it. I love it. It's very, very well made.
The name's Tobias Gregson. Inspector Gregson to you. I'm from Scotland Yard.
Gregson? Inspector Gregson? What's the matter with Susato-san? Does this detective's name mean something to her? Inspector, are you perhaps the Inspector Gregson? You're acting like you know this man, Miss Susato, but he's a London detective. Oh, I do know him very well, in fact. Very well? Yeah, he features prominently in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. Oh, in that publication? What's it called again? Rants Magazine? That's right. Inspector Gregson and Mr. Sholmes enjoy a wonderful friendly rivalry. Really? You rival the great Mr. Sholmes? That's incredible.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. Mr. Sholmes isn't a professional like myself, of course, but he does come up with the goods from time to time.
Mr. Sholmes is equally complimentary about you, Inspector, isn't he? You've earned his highest praise. Gregson is a pick of the... Well, how does Sholmes sound again?
Gregson is a pick of a bad lot of all of Scotland Yarders.
Those were his own words. That's the highest praise? Well, Mr. Sholmes isn't particularly known for giving compliments, you see.
That he is not, and thanks to that magazine, my name's known all over London town now.
That's great, isn't it?
Oh, I have to admit, to start with, it was a little well flattered by all the attention. Everyone wanted to shake me hand, and my reputation at the Yard went through the roof.
Well, that's wonderful.
No, it is not. There's nothing more sinister than a man on the street. People are always looking at me now. They're whispering rumors about me under their breath, I'm sure.
Rumors? Are you quite sure?
He's changed since he started appearing in those stories. The fame's gone to his head. Stuff like that.
Gosh, do you really think people are saying such mean-spirited things about you?
Well, I said they whisper, so I can't catch exactly what they're saying, but I know what folk are like. I'm sure that's what they're saying. As sure as eggs.
Oh. I get the feeling this detective could be very hard work. Oh dear, perhaps a sudden rise to fame does change people. Bop bop. Bop bop. Ba. Ba-na. So, about the case that the Lord Chief Justice mentioned before?
Nothing to tell, really. As far as we're concerned, at the Yard, it couldn't be simpler.
Oh dear, that probably means that as far as we're concerned as lawyers, it couldn't be more complicated. I wish you were wrong about that, but I have a nasty feeling you're right.
A young woman was walking along the pavement on Briar Road when she was stabbed from behind. Fortunately, it wasn't fatal, but she's still laid up in hospital unconscious.
That's despicable. What sort of coward would attack the poor woman from behind? I suppose you would have finished whoever was off with a Susato takedown, would you not? Damn right I would. Bitch be falling his face on the floor. I would have Susato take down that mother trucker right into the pavement. And then I give him a Susato Hadouken! Shoryuken Tatsumaki Senpyaku! Hiya! That's neither here nor there, Mr. Naruhodo. Brace yourself, Reinosuke. You've angered her now.
Anyway, after something of a whirlwind investigation, the criminal was arrested. He barely had time for a cup of tea after the incident took place, to be honest.
So, there must have been something left at the scene that led you directly to the culprit? Or perhaps a reliable witness who recognized the person in question?
Let me stop you right there. You're wasting your time on this one.
Sorry?
There's nothing you can do. There's no way to help the bloke now.
Why ever not?
Simple. The prosecutor that's been assigned to the trial tomorrow is Lord Baruch von Zakes. No. Sounds like you've heard of him then.
Oh yes, we are very familiar with
Lord Van Zeeks, I will suck your blood and your pulmonary artery and your left nipple.
Believe it to be the harbinger of death itself.
The Reaper of the Bailey.
Lord Baruch von Zeeks, who we faced in court only yesterday. Mr. McGilda told us about him before the trial, didn't he?
When Sikhs hands for the prosecution, they call accused the sacrificial lambs. And in every single trial at which he's been prosecutor, the accused has been damned. And now I'm dead.
The Reaper of the Bailey's nickname. I suppose he's earned that because every defendant he advocates against is found guilty. Is that it? Well, if that's the case, we should inform you, Inspector, that in yesterday's trial against Lord Van Zeeks, Mr. Naruhodo secured a verdict of not guilty.
And what of it?
I think that means that even against the Reaper of the Bailey, it's not impossible to save the defendant.
No, you really don't have a clue, do you?
What do you mean?
What happened to the bloke in the end, eh? He's dead. Magnus McGilded came to a cropper in that omnibus when it went up in flames. So you can't rightly say you saved the defendant, can you? What are you saying? Look, if Van Zeeks could get the dirt to stick on everyone, he'd be a miracle worker.
This stream violates YouTube's strictest terms of service. In order to prevent further action being pursued to you, you must continue voice acting throughout. I will do my very best time that I can, bag of milk. Please take your Scottish arse and see yourself out the door. Chop chop on the double. And make me some haggis while you're there.
No, I'm just messing with you, dude. So good to see you, Milk. I actually quite like haggis. Is that sad? Is that embarrassing? I really do like haggis. Is that weird? You know what else I like? Is black pudding. Shiz is good, dude. Black pudding is delicious. And give me a Scottish breakfast with some haggis. Like, not every day would I want to eat it. But shiz is greasy and delicious, bro. Like, I thought Americans ate greasy, like, you know, I thought Americans ate greasy, sugary, carbohydrate-rich breakfasts, but oh my lord. The amount of protein you get in a proper English breakfast is absolutely insane, bro. One haggis coming right up. You can have mine. I don't like it. You don't like the haggis? It has a weird texture to it for sure, but I do like it, yeah. Frick those fried tomatoes, though. Holy shit. Give me a Scotch egg, too, please. Just kidding, bro. It's good to see you, mate.
Look, if Van Zeeks could get the dirt to stick on everyone, he'd be a miracle worker. But that's not how it goes. He doesn't work miracles, he works magic. Black magic.
Black pudding is made in a sheep's stomach. I know. I know what it is. It's delicious, bro. I don't even care. I like foie gras, too. Is that a sin? I mean, yeah, if you're like a pita person, but I like foie gras as well. Although I wouldn't want to eat it every day. Kind of a bitter, rich flavor, but
I'd have a good long think about that if I were you.
Are we really supposed to believe that?
Oh, I'll go fish and chip.
Hope you've been well. Oh man, I've been at the hospital since like 3 in the morning. I'm so tired, but it was a good day for Mama Vita. A really good day. Thank you for being here.
Right, well, I filled you in as requested, and I'm very nearly out of chips. So I'll be heading back to my chip butty shop, the crime scene. There's no way I'll be going to the pub for a butty and a pint of lager. No. We're still carrying out a few investigations there.
It was Briar Road, you said, didn't you? Where the incident took place?
That's correct, ma'am. And if you head over there to holding cells, you can meet the criminal himself.
You've branded him a criminal already?
He's as good as, shaking like a leaf in his cell, he is. I'll give you a chuckle if nothing else. He's inmate 53. Speak to the jailer and he'll show you the way.
Inmate 53. Thank you.
Right. I'll see you later. I need a pint and the old chip butty.
Remind Mama Vita Scotland sends its best. Dude, I'll be over there soon, bro. I don't know when exactly, but God damn, if coronavirus would stop flaring up and everywhere in the frickin' world, I'd be over there already. God damn, bro. Oh boy. So there's no helping anyone against the Reaper of the Bailey, they say. Is something troubling you, Mr. Naruhodo? To tell you the truth, when I recall the trial yesterday, I can't stop myself from shaking. The idea of facing the Reaper in court again is... Well, if you think it's too much for you, there's no shame in turning the case down. That takes courage, too. But if the man that arrested is innocent... Huh? You could well imagine he would be shaken like a leaf in his cell.
Hey, that's what I say, shaking like a leaf.
Go away. Go back to your drunken chip buddy. And I, for one, wouldn't find the sight of that funny. So, if I'm honest, I'm still reeling from the shock of yesterday's event myself. And I'm really not sure if I'll be able to help this man, whoever he is. But I'd like to try, so I think I'm going to make some inquiries. Will you help? Did you really think you had to ask? After all, I am your judicial assistant. Thank you. So then, shall we? Yeah! Eat a shite! Let's go! Bump. We can probably examine some stuff, but I don't really care. Should we go to Briar Road or should we go to the prison? Let's go to the prison first. Why not? Why not? Oh.
19th of February, local prison. Cell number 9.
So these are the British prison cells. Oh, they're ghastly. Feels like a dungeon. Yes, and having experienced it in Japan myself, I can assure you that our wooden cells feel a lot cozier than these cold stone walls. Oh, don't, Mr. Naruhodo, you're making it seem worse. Apparently, our client is in the cell here. But it's so dark at the back there, I can't make him out. I wonder what he's like.
Inmate 53, your legal representative is here to see you. Stop idling at the back of your cell and show your face at once.
Am I a cat? As yet with no name. Calling me by a number is utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. I refuse to answer. Mr. Naruhodo, what? What do you think is going on here? I have no idea. But I wasn't just hearing things, was I? That tirade of complaints wasn't Japanese?
Oh. Eh.
Excuse me, but who?
Shh. Quiet. They're all around, hiding. I know they are. They're watching, listening, even now. I can sense it.
Oh. Right. So, could I ask you who exactly...
There you are. You've come to curse me, have you? Don't try to hide it. You're a ghost.
A ghost?
Oh.
We mean you no harm, prisoner-san. Are you... Japanese, by any chance?
Huh? This is...
Beyond my wildest dreams!
Forgive me for that outburst before. I am so sorry.
Oh, it's fine. We were just a little surprised. That's all.
Imagine it! It's been 12 years since I left my hometown, and here I am in a frightful fix in a foreign land.
Should I pick the left or the right item? You're in a devil deal? Uh-oh. What's your health situation look like, Coded? How much health do you have? Are there 1 hearts or 2 hearts? And how much health do you have?
So hearing the sweet sentimental tones of a compatriot's voice here in this damn dark hellhole was
most monumentally moving moment. Yes.
Oh, you're the law, so you should definitely take one. I don't know. You decide. I say left.
Who could have guessed that
This new client of Lord Strongheart assigned to us would turn out to be a fellow Japanese.
what compassion my fellow countrymen show to dispatch a first-class lawyer all the way from Japan to defend a foreign student. Noble, nurturing, never-failing Nippon!
Demon Baby? It's not great. But, you know, it could be worse. Could be worse, huh? A first-class lawyer? Oh dear, I think there's been something of a misunderstanding here. I wonder what would be so kind as tell us what's happened? Why you've been detained as a suspect, for example?
Yes. I can, I will. Shan't stay sullen and silent.
Wow, he's a perky one, huh? I'm not quite sure I understand what he means, but seems happy. Yes, he does. I just hope he actually has a good reason to be. Thank you for your cooperation. I'm a lawyer, as you said. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. And I'm Naruhodo-san's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba.
I am a visiting student sent here by our government. Notoriously named Natsume. Soseki Natsume.
Soseki Natsume. Okay. Soseki Natsume-san, what an unusual name.
Call me Soseki, please. I'm a poet, you see, a writer of haiku. It's something of a nom de plume.
Nom de plume? You mean an alias? That's right, Naruhodo-san. Nom de plume means pen name in French.
No. Don't be so prosaic. It's much more refined than that.
And haiku? That really reminds me of home. Did I hear you say that you were a visiting student sent over here by the government?
Yes, that's right. A year ago, I was told to go and study English. First, I had to suffer that misery, and now this. It's beyond the pale.
Suffer that misery? Did you not want to study here?
No, I mean, I had an interest in Great Britain for some years, of course.
Oh.
But just because the government tells you to do something doesn't mean it can do it, no.
What do you mean?
If they told me to study English literature, that I could have understood. That is my field. But no, they told me to study the English language. Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable.
Oh, he seems pretty good at it. I see.
Only the other day I was told to send a report about my first year here. I tendered a blank piece of paper. Wise words are whitewashy.
You must be a man of great standing.
Oh yes, so I'm often told.
And often like to be told, it seems. Could you perhaps tell us exactly why you've been arrested, Soseki-san?
I didn't do it. I didn't commit that atrocious murder.
Murder?
Oh, no, it's alright. The woman didn't actually die, did she? But she was stabbed with a knife right before my eyes.
Before your eyes? You mean you saw the attacker?
I didn't see anyone.
What?
If I see a person who did it, you think I'd be locked up here?
Oh dear, it seems the case is becoming rather complicated.
Why me? Why did that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? It's the curse of London is incredibly, inexcusably, irritatingly inconvenient.
So Soseki-san was there at the scene, but didn't see the attacker.
It's vital that we find out more about this case.
was an accursed evening, just after the snow had started to clear, and heavy with fog. I'd been on the bookshop to buy some books, and I was on my way back to my accursed lodgings. Sure, the bookshop wasn't accursed too. As I was walking on the accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another head me. A woman, wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her...
What? Whoa! She's kind of chunky.
She suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed into the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet.
How terrible.
I called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like a ghostly, ghoulish, grim graveyard.
This guy likes his alliterations, huh? Slight exaggeration there, perhaps.
I was terrified, but I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my legs would carry me back to my accursed lodging.
That's not good.
They'll say it was shameful, I know, to run away like that.
Tell me, Soseki-san, was the victim an acquaintance of yours?
Don't be ridiculous. To think I have any of these fair-haired English and a young woman like that? I'm different, shy, timid, unsecure. I can't talk to people.
I see. A young woman unknown to Soseki-san. And at the time it happened, who else did you see nearby? Did anybody pass you?
Regrettably, apart from myself and the woman, I didn't see a soul.
No one?
Oh, great.
So the victim was unknown to you and there was nobody else at the street on the time? This creates something of a conundrum, doesn't it?
Huh?
What conundrum? How did they know it was you? What do you mean, Susato-san? What's the conundrum? Well, if what Soseki-san has told us is true, there's something I can't explain. He says that he didn't know the victim and that there was no one else at the scene of the crime. Then he apparently fled without having been seen.
I did!
But if that's the case, surely this man has to be the culprit.
Ah, you! What did you just say?
Nothing. I didn't say anything. Oops, perhaps I thought that a little too loudly. Actually, that's not what was troubling me. What I was thinking was, how did Soseki-san actually come to be arrested? Yeah, me too. Sorry? He didn't touch the victim and there was nobody at the scene to see him. So how did the police ever discover that he was there in the first place? Oh yeah, she's right.
Oh, it was him. The accursed great detective. He led the police to me. Out of all the bad luck.
Accursed great detective, could it be?
I shall never forget that man's name as long as I live. With his hearty laugh and self-proclaimed greatness. Brash, big-headed, boozy, busybody. May you be cursed until the end of your days, Herlock Sholmes.
I knew it.
Yeah? Oh, 'tis me. Mr. Sholmes, the greatest detective in all of London. In fact, in the history of mankind. You may bow at my feet and lick my cankles. It's all right. I do not have any foot fungus. Yeah.
But Mr. Sholmes... Oh boy. Herlock Sholmes. Well, I didn't expect to hear that name from this man's lips, that's for sure.
It was the morning after the nightmare had unfolded on the pavement before me. I was gnawing on a sliver of hard cheese when some men suddenly burst through the door. They started shouting at me, "This is the police, put the weapon down." Yes, it was a tin sliver, and yes, it was hot, but I wasn't eating a weapon. Disgusting dietary discrimination devils!
You clearly had a trying morning yesterday.
And there he was in the middle of all the policemen, grinning like a Cheshire cat. That Sherlock Holmes.
It's actually just Herlock Sholmes. He's English.
I've since found out he's a famous name in detection here in London.
Yes, the great detective is really a very well known.
And in his overly sharp mind managed to deduce my whereabouts apparently.
He thinks I'm a knife-wielding madman. Me, this weak, stooped kitten of a man. I wonder what great deduction process led him to his conclusion this time. Do you mean to say that Mr. Sholmes' deduction was the only reason that the police arrested you? That would be really most unreasonable.
Well, the thing is, I was thrown into a panic when they barged their way in.
Of course you were. That's only natural.
I was terrified and trembling, and they kept throwing question after question at me in impossible English. Fiendish foreign film flammery!
Well, we are in England. You can't really blame them for questioning you in English.
Good point, but my mind went blank. I knew I had to answer, but I didn't know what to say. So I just kept repeating things like, yes, I do, and I'm fine. Next thing I knew, I was in manacles, and before I knew it, I was thrown in here.
Oh dear, I'm afraid that's hardly surprising. I'm fine. He's not fine now.
Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
Oh, you can just call me Naruhodo. And when we're speaking English, it's simple Mr. is more than enough.
Oh, yes, all right. Well, just there's really got to me. This country's poisoning my mind. But please, I beg you to defend me in court tomorrow. You can tell them what really happened. You'll do it, won't you?
Well,
Why? Why is it so hard to say yes to me?
Well, the thing is, I'm just a student like yourself, on a study tour.
A student?
I have defended a case in the Old Bailey, only one though. But at this moment in time, I really don't know what I'm supposed to believe in. I'm confused about what justice is in this country even means. Oh, Naruhodo-san. I'm not even the foreign student who was supposed to be here. I'm a sort of locum lawyer, I guess.
But the empire, that's the mark of the defense lawyer from our great empire.
It's a keepsake from the man who should have been here. He was my best friend.
A keepsake? I know exactly what they're saying about me.
Oh, who do you mean?
The lawyers, all the British defense lawyers, they wouldn't defend me.
Goodness, why? Why do you say that?
For the same reason as you noted before when it happened. There was only the victim and myself around as I ran away from the scene of the crime. I'm not a fool. I know it looks as though I must be the culprit.
It must be very hard for you, Soseki-san.
And anyway, I'm a student from overseas. I'm just a foreign nobody to them, someone not to be trusted. I heard them openly laughing about me before in my earshot without any compunction at all. Any trial for this man would be a waste of time, they said, and of course the foreigner, he did it. Even had to go to say that man doesn't understand half what's being said anyway.
That's awful.
They're wrong. I study more English than half the policemen there on the streets. I've traveled halfway around the world to learn about these people's country and its great history. But no one here wants to listen to a man with a strange accent. They all hate me. So, at the very least, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who can listen to me in my native tongue. You could do it, couldn't you? When I look into your eyes, I can see it. I can see what you've been through.
I can see it in your eyes. I can see it in your smile. You're the man for me to defend my case from the gallery.
Wow, and a good singing voice too. Soseki-san.
It's just that. Give me a little time, please.
Huh?
I'll do what I can for the time being.
What do you mean?
We shall investigate the case as thoroughly as possible. If we can find some clues, it will give us a much better chance, I'm sure.
Ah, yes. Oh, thank you. I'll be here all alone, waiting for you, locum student of Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
That face, though. Well, we should be going then, Naruhodo-san. We have a case to prepare for. Should we examine his room? Let's go.
Briar Road.
I need a sip of water. I'm tired. It's funny though. Game's good. Really good.
19th of February, Briar Road.
Oh, so this is where it happened. Briar Road. Ah, look, Mr. Naruhodo! Look at that regulation metal helmet. It's unmistakable. The men of Scotland Yard are here. They're investigating as we speak. That is their job, you know. But Mr. Naruhodo, to see with one's own eyes. They're often depicted in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, but I never dreamt I'd ever come this close to a real Bobby's helmet. Oh, what the helmet? Of course. I'd have to try one on one day. Well, I hope your Hattie dream comes true. Hattie dream.
What's the Japanese delegation doing here?
Oh, Inspector Gregson.
Bam. This isn't on a tourist trail, as I'm fairly sure you're well aware.
Yes, of course. We're here to investigate.
So you been to the holding cells then? What you make of the criminal?
He's not a criminal as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect.
Oh, well, see about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. Well, do what you will. It doesn't bother me. The bloke's in court tomorrow, whatever happens. And the verdict's a foregone conclusion.
Ugh, this stone-cold air of rejection. Take heart. London at this time of year is full of stone-cold air. That makes it worse somehow. Oh, baby. Tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated by the place.
The Yard is the most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world, ma'am.
Oh, and you know, I've always dreamed of wearing a real Bobby's helmet. It does make them look the part, seeing that policeman there with his helmet on. You certainly get the sense that this is a man who will take no nonsense in his duty but protecting the city. Oh yes, doesn't he look wonderful? I'd like to marry one.
Being a London Bobby is hard going, I can tell you.
Oh really?
First thing in the morning, you know what he does? Goes round and rouses all the labourers on his beat so they can get off to work.
What? He wakes people up?
Yup, raps on their windows with a long pole. Did it myself going or back a bit.
I had no idea.
Bobby works for the people of the town. It's just another one of his duties. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day long. He has to cover 20 miles a day. That's the regulation distance.
I can't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way. Let me see. 20 miles. That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama. On foot? That's definitely taking things a step too far.
And when it gets dark, of course he has the important job of lighting all the gas lamps on the streets.
Oh my. And I suppose in between all those duties, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well? And chase after criminals trying to evade the law.
I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly, more alongside, but yeah. They're expected to handle those jobs as well. We do have men kneeling over from time to time, I admit.
I'd always dreamed of wearing one of those helmets, and also I would kneel over for a Bobby any day, if you know what I mean. Giggity giggity! But it's with a heavy heart that I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naruhodo. Hey, I don't want to be kneeling for no Bobby. Who do you think I am? I only kneel for Kazuma, and he's dead.
Ooh!
Your heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do.
It happened around 5 in the evening 2 days ago, just there on that open bit of pavement.
Sorry for being late. No worries, Game of Life. It's good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. No problem at all. I'm exhausted, so if I'm a bit more rambunctious and idiotic and goofy than usual, it's because I've been up at the hospital all day, pretty much. Very tired.
The victim, a young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind.
Is it right to say that the lady is still unconscious now? You mentioned that she's being treated at the hospital.
I never said she was a lady. Truth is, unless she comes around pretty smartish, we won't be able to find out much about her at all.
I suppose that means they have been able to take a statement from her, of course.
Here's a map of the local area. I happen to have it on me. You can take it if you want.
Really? Are you sure?
It's your policy to give lawyers defending suspects the odd bit of information to go on.
I haven't actually accepted the job yet, but still. Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept. The local map has been entered in the court record. Hope you had a good day, Game of Life.
Sounds of love overshadowed by dreams. Baby, don't worry, 'cause you ain't alone.
Anyway, as far as we know, there was no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countryman. So who did it, you think? Not much of a head-scratcher, is it?
Well, I know Mr. Natsume is also claiming not to have seen anyone else around, but just because he didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else was present.
I'm sorry to have to tell you, but we most certainly can be sure.
How?
Because, ma'am, the precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed.
I wonder how much the unlimited chip cone costs. Bro, all that fish and chips unlimited?
He's probably in the black market. He's probably in the black market for the chip business. It's like a never-ending side of fish and chips. This is very sussy of you, Mr. Gregson, and I would like to formally inquire the manner of which you have been infinitely refilling fish and chips. Deduction number 1. Your hand sometimes strays from your mouth to your back pocket. It is in this vein that I make the first conjecture. You have a never-ending pocket like Harry Potter. In other words, you're a witch or a warlock, and you have been picking that directly from that magic pocket. If this is not true, conclusion number 2, you are pooping out the fish and chips, replacing them into your cup, like the porn video, 2 girls, 1... anyway, I've never seen that, I don't know what I'm talking about. But you are eating your feces over and over again. That particular piece of fish does seem rather poopy, if I ask me. So, conclusion 1 or conclusion 2, I cannot figure out which it is, but either way, one of these things is true. I rest my case, lock the defendant up for fecal consumption. Goodbye. We'll see you again in the next episode. How's that? The precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed.
What?
We have 2 very reliable witnesses, no less.
Pull out the latent crossover!
It was a typical foggy London day, and your client obviously didn't see him.
There were 2 witnesses now.
See? Who are these witnesses, see?
Who were the witnesses, Inspector?
A fellow and his wife, and the man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. He's a copper from Scotland Yard.
It's a setup, see?
Oh, shoot! A policeman? That might change things. And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked?
Nothing peculiar about that, man. Part and parcel of being a bobby, catching them, banging the act and all that.
Do you think it might be possible for us to ask that policeman a few questions?
Be my guest. You can ask him what you like. Tomorrow in court. Oh, I've no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So that'll give you something to look forward to.
That's that, then. He's got no intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems. Sussy Baka! A policeman witnessed the incident. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this could make our job very difficult indeed.
Gregson, I got him.
I've never played the crossover before. By the way, Game of Life. Maybe I will one day. Yes, as a non-judicial assistant, I could have warned me of that too. Oh, yes, and one more thing, Inspector.
What?
The person who led you to the suspect, I hear that was Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Oh, what are you bringing him up for?
Well, is it something I said? The color is drained from his cheeks. Witch hunting, if I recall correctly. Oh, really? Interesting.
Who did you hear that name from?
Oh, well, it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. He said that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings. I'm sure it was the result of one of Mr. Sholmes' inspirational great deductions.
Fiddle-faddle!
Huh?
The man's an amateur, and I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere.
Oh,
I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime, wanders around spotting incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case.
my mom has returned from the shops. Ooh, what did you get from the shops, Peter? Did you get some ice cream, perhaps? In this very, very hot summer day, you deserve some ice cream. Unless, of course, you've been a naughty boy, Peter, and then you deserve a spanking. So it's either ice cream or spanking. No more, no less. Anything good?
Or flaming hot Cheetos. I believe you call them Cheetos over there in the United States. Flaming hot Cheetos.
No.
What about a spanking with ice cream? No, that is very refreshing. That is not punishment for Peter being a bad boy. If Peter is a bad boy, he would not be allowed to be spanked with ice cream, because that is a very satisfying spanking. Yes. Perhaps he claims to have solved a case.
Yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he? He is a great help to Scotland Yard, though, isn't he?
Gibble gabble.
Oh.
Ever seen this before?
Oh, yes, that's Rant's magazine. The wonderful publication in which the adventures of Herlock Sholmes appears. You know what in Black Box is X? No, I do not know what Black Box's X is, Krabs. No, is it an anime or something?
Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you see it, sees to fit includes several of the Yard's detectives in its story. And so-called great detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone in the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Herlock Sholmes tale at all.
Well, I suppose there is an element of that.
We work our socks off, every one of us, only to be thumped up by the public thanks to that obnoxious detective. The man's as dangerous to us as Scotland Yard as he is to all our criminals.
That can't really be true, can it, Inspector?
Clearly, the great detective and the police
have a complex relationship.
Bop bop. Bop bop. Bop bop. Tomorrow's trial. Bop. That twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. Are you going to defend him or not?
Well,
Oh. Makes no difference to me, but I will just say this. No London lawyer worth his salt will touch that case with a barge pole.
because the prosecution is being handled by the Reaper the Bailey, you mean?
Aye, there's no way to save that man now. It's a waste of time trying. If it's a bit strange, though.
Sorry?
The Reaper, he hasn't appeared in court once for a good few years now.
Yes, we did hear something to that effect.
And the only people he usually bothers with are the real scum, the master criminals, the violent ones. Well, you see, Gregson, I am no London lawyer. My name is Game of Life, and I will pick your pocket and tickle your pickle. Be gone with thee, thought. Be gone. Take my testament, scythe, and be gone. We'll slash your throat.
Master criminals? The violent ones?
That's right, he handpicks his victims, only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sins.
But Mr. Natsume won't hang for what he's accused of, surely.
That's just my point, sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but he didn't kill her. Couldn't even say the intent was there. So this isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth into, for want of a better phrase.
Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, is it?
No, there's got to be more to it. Some might reason he's taking an interest.
Really? What sort of reason, Inspector?
You think I can tell what's going inside that head of the Lord of Darkness? You would have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial.
Are we really going to have to face the Reaper again? The Lord of Darkness, as he put it?
No, he's scary.
Well,
I don't think we're going to get any more useful information out of the detective. Mr. Naruhodo, can I make a suggestion? Oh, yeah. He's probably blasting Linkin Park in his head 24/7.
And I'm about to break. Everything you say to me brings me one step closer to the edge. And I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe.
one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break.
Hybrid Theory is a good album, bro. I haven't listened to that album in like 10, 15 years. I need to listen to that album again. But not on stream. I don't want a copyright claim. Sorry, homies.
I need a little room to breathe. And I'm about to break.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's edgy as shit, but it's still pretty good. Oh, yes. What was it? Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this. Huh? By him, do you mean Mr. Sholmes? Yes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, exactly. Look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can you? Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Mr. Sholmes for all this, didn't he? Yes, he did. He really did. Which makes him an involved party in the case. Are you just going to ignore that? I hope not. I assure you it's not simply my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Sholmes again. Although I am a fangirl, I would like to have his babies. The trouble is, we have no idea the man's address even. So how?
It's Baker Street.
How do you know that? Oh, of course, you're a fangirl. It's in the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world. Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. We better find a way there before Susato-san gets any more excited and unpredictable. She's bound to go lick a Bobby's helmet.
Hoorah! I'll summon the carriage.
So we'll have to reunion already with the great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Should we examine stuff or not? And we probably need to, but let's just go. Let's just follow the plot for now. It's probably important that we do that. Also, let me save as well. Now that I think about it, we haven't saved yet. I don't know if there was a power outage or something that would be really bad, you know? Bop bop. Did you have a good day, Game of Life? I hope you did. I had a lovely one myself, although I am quite tired. I am quite exhausted. Alright, let's move. Back to Mr. Shaw. Oh! Scene poggers!
Thank you very much. It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day.
Good day.
Thanks again.
10 minutes trip extending just under an hour. Okay, sounds not so bad.
This is it. The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
This is it. The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Did you see Susato?
Ah, I,
19th of February, 12:53 p.m. Sholmes Suite. So this is where the great detective makes his living. It feels surreal to be here somehow. Did you just break in? Hey, Bakur! Nice to see you too! Bakur is here. It's really awesome to see Bakur, 'cause he's cool and his friends are cool, and they come to my stream sometime to say hi, and they're very nice to me. I'm happy. Ryonosuke is described in the stories, Miss Susato. Susato-san.
Oh, many famous cases have been solved here in this very room.
Oh, I suppose they must have been, yes. I've never read the story, so it's hard to get quite as excited about as she seems to be. The detective cases and the villain relentlessly as he disappears into the fog down the unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it, the romanticism. Can you feel it in your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, I suppose I can, yes.
So if you don't mind,
I'm going to sniff everything in this house! I'm just here to soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Please don't mind me. She's obsessed. Well, it looks like our detective friend isn't home at present. Excuse me, is anybody home? Oh, do we have a visitor? Oh, there, it's the young girl.
hello. It's a big new case for Mr. Sholmes.
Hello? Wait. Aren't you?
Oh, how rude of me. I'll go make some tea at once.
I'm sure it's the same girl. Miss Susato, do you see the girl who was just here?
Oh yes, isn't it truly extraordinary? To think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case?
The King of Bowaria?
The King of Wilhelm Godstreit Sigrun von Ornstein, of course.
Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. You're awesome.
No, I'm just a silly boy, Bakur. But I'm glad you're here. I like to be kind of silly sometimes when I haven't had a lot of sleep, you know? And this game's pretty fun when you get to make funny voices.
Forget the adventures of Herlock Sholmes for a moment and look over there.
The tea's brewed, and I have a freshly baked cake as well. Oh, it's you!
I knew it. Susanoo-san recognizes her too.
Oh, there you are.
Flashback.
And taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, an inventor, I suppose, of that machine.
Nice accents. Bro, thank you. It's the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGilda's trial in the defendant's antechamber.
I've never met a lawyer from the Far East before. Poor you having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London.
Yes, it was challenging.
Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know.
Thank you. Is this tea supposed to look that color? Pulls out a rocket launcher.
Oh my, what a fragrant yet mellow flavor. Hooray, it's a winner. I tried blending different leaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see.
You must be exhausted after your long voyage here, and you have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, and you're to defend a Japanese man. I wish you lots and lots of luck. Did Mr. Sholmes tell you about us by any chance? Oh, you know Hurley, do you?
Hurley? Mr. Sholmes? To you, surely.
Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Oh, was he really? Well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's out on an errand again today, even though he's just returned from overseas.
Wait a minute. We must have met this girl the first time either yesterday after the trial, and only briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? Did she deduce all of those things, do you think?
And perhaps more to the point, why is she here in Mr. Sholmes' suite? Oh, silly me. I haven't introduced myself, have I? Hello. It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson. I live here together with Hurley.
Iris, is it? What a lovely name.
What?
What's the matter?
No, wait. This can't be. Did you say that your name is Wilson?
What's the matter, Susato-san? Why is she so fletched all of a sudden?
Yes, that's right. And what are your names?
Oh, I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, a lawyer from Japan.
Sorry. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely. Susie and Runo. Got it.
What? Susie? And Runo? There's more to this girl than meets the eye. I have so many questions for her, I don't know where to start.
Yes, and so do I.
She gave us nicknames. Susie and Runo. Oh, brother. This girl likes her nicknames. It was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it, the Old Bailey?
Yes, that's right. You were ever so helpful. Thank you very much. Oh, no, not at all. I'm sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming.
Though at the time, we did have a rather large gun pointed at us.
It's me, Bazooka. Like this.
Oh.
Thinking back now. You left with Miss Lestrade in tow, didn't you?
Oh, yes, that was an awkward witness, Gina Lestrade.
Oh, Ginny. Yes, she's a professional pickpocket.
So we found out.
It was very naughty of her to pinch my invention like that.
Are you referring to the trial disrupting gun-like contraption?
Exactly. So I followed her, you see, to get it back.
Huh. Perhaps I should think about
fitting a self-destruct mechanism into my inventions.
This girl is dangerous.
Anyways, I brought Ginny back after that, so she could apologize to my trusty technician.
Sorry, your technician?
Hurley, of course, silly.
Hurley?
Yes, Herlock Sholmes. We live here together.
I had no idea the great detective had such an interesting young daughter.
Daughter? Not likely.
Next up, Iris invents a nuke. The inventor and the destroyer of the Nazis in World War II. And the Japanese. It was Iris, the brilliant detective. Nukes ahoy, baby! What?
I wouldn't call him Hurley if it was my father, would I? Well, then, what is your relationship with Mr. Sholmes?
I think I'm going to sleep. It's kind of late in the night for you. Bye-bye. Vita by stream. Bye, Bakur. See you soon. Bye, brother. Take care, okay?
So the solution is to share the cost with a partner, a roommate.
Your roommate?
I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? 10 at last this year.
Well, what of your mother and father?
Oh no, they're not around.
Oh, I see. I wonder what the story is there.
Wilson! Oh yes, there's something I must ask you. Of course, go ahead, Susie. I'm a very great fan of the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, and... Oh, you have a copy of Rance magazine? Yes, I read every issue and deliver it all the way to Japan on ship.
Hasta luego, Bakur.
Oh, this is so exciting. My stories have been read on the other side of the world.
My stories? Thank you for being so friendly to the stream game. Thank you, thank you.
That's right. Hurley's always solving such amazing cases, you see, and he tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. It would be such a shame if I were the only one to have ever heard them, don't you think?
Goodness!
Last night, he was telling me all about a new case he just solved on a steamship traveling from a faraway land. So I was just in the middle of typing up the manuscript for the next issue before you came.
So you are the author? Plot twist. Herlock Sholmes can't write. He's an invalid! His pecker don't work either! He's not a real man!
Yes, I'll let you in on a secret if you like. I'm going to call the latest adventure the Speckled Band.
The Speckled Band, that's certainly very familiar.
Of course, I always change one or two details in the stories here and there. This time, I had the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble.
Oh, that was Mr. Sholmes' first thought as well, actually.
Yes, and I of course knew that a snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but it's a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think, don't you? So, do you mean to say all the stories about Mr. Sholmes that are published in Rance magazine, all written by me? Yes, on my wonderful and very modern typewriter.
But all the stories I've ever read are written by a doctor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson.
Susato-san's getting more and more worked up.
Yes, that's me. I mean, my name's really Wilson.
But what about the doctor of medicine part?
That's all true too. I'm a doctor of medicine.
No, at 10 years old?
At 10 years old.
Well, that's quite incredible.
But Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman.
Yes. I did alter the setting slightly for the stories to be more compelling.
Oh.
Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow?
I suppose it does, yeah.
Poor Susato-san. She looks like her whole world is just falling apart.
Every now and then I fall apart. It's not really a Dr. Wilson. Well, it actually is a doctor. But instead of an English gentleman, it's actually a 10-year-old girl. Once upon a time I thought I knew all the books, but now the story's falling apart. Nothing I can do, a total eclipse of the heart.
Your deductions just now. This music is so funny, dude. Perfect for this crackhead little kid. About before.
Yes? What's on your mind, Bruno? Do tell me.
How do you know that I was a lawyer and we just arrived in London, I mean?
Yes. Oh, and that we have difficult trial tomorrow. How did you know all of that?
Oh, it's that what you mean?
Please, tell us how you did it. Explain every detail.
Of course, I'd be delighted, although there's really no mystery. Now, let's begin. Iris Wilson is proud to present her Logic and Reasoning Spectacular.
Uh-oh.
First of all, I knew already that you were a lawyer, Bruno. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber.
But you also said that we'd only just arrived in London. How did you know that?
I observed a passport and travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket.
Oh.
So I was reasonably confident you must have only just arrived in the country.
Yo, this is the real deal.
And on top of that, you accepted a case against the particular prosecutor, telling me you were unaware of London's court affairs.
The Reaper of the Bailey? Yeah, I walked right into that one, didn't I?
Then I noticed a red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with the suspect, weren't you? Earlier today? Ah. They use those stamps to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you see?
Yo, she's a genius. I didn't realize.
And this red stamp is only used for visiting foreign inmates. So it's that told me that even though you had only yesterday concluded that the trial of Magnus McGilton, the two of you had already gone the cause to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. However, neither of you were wearing a particularly sad expression on your face.
Hey, Wolf UK. This is crazy. This girl's a genius.
Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Shout out to the UK, just like where this game is set right now.
So I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be your friend or relative. That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case.
I see.
But how can you have known that the trial is tomorrow? Well, having barely been home a few hours yesterday, Hurley solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me that he'd caught a Japanese man who was bowling and trembling.
A Japanese man? Well, clearly that must have been
Mr. Natsume. Now, Bruno has that fancy Japanese sword. And I think your outfit is called a kimono, is it not, Susie? Well, anyway, it was clear to me that you both come from Japan yourselves. So I put two and two together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man Hurley caught. And there was only one conclusion those facts could lead me to. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case.
She's a genius. She's a genius. And she invents grenade launchers. Bro, what the heck is going on in this game? Holy shiz, man.
Galaxy brained indeed.
There's a note on the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley is always stabbing his notes with a knife, you know. He's silly. And that's all there is to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions. Copyright 2022, La Vida Virtual.
Aha.
Well, was it winner? Were my deductions correct?
They were spot on.
That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction.
It's 12 a.m. I'm going to bed, just saying hi before I leave. Cheers to you, buddy. Get some good sleep, huh? Stay hydrated. And thank you very much for hanging out for a bit. Take good care of yourself now, Wolf. You even managed to get a certain something in Mr. Sholmes' delivery.
Oh, well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that.
This is a really good news.
You could tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris?
Please.
Okay.
So yesterday, Mr. Sholmes apprehended a Japanese man, you were saying?
Yes. Hurley had just arrived back in London after his sea voyage, but the police were waiting for him at the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene.
Ah, the great detective is a popular man, it seemed.
Apparently, a woman was stabbed on a quiet street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who had seen a short, shifty-looking, stooped man running away from the scene.
A short, shifty-looking, stooped man? Mr. Natsume, beyond any doubt. Soseki-san said they didn't see anybody else on the street at all. But it seems there were witnesses after all.
Hurley used his great deductive powers to determine the man's address. There was a lodging room very nearby. He went directly there with the police, and what did they find? A short, shifty-looking, stooped man shivering in fear.
Ugh, Mr. Sholmes' great deduction certainly hit the mark that time.
Of course it did. He's a great detective.
Still, that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for the trial, isn't it?
Definitely. We have no time to investigate properly.
Hurley says that London is rife with crime.
Oh.
Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it, apparently.
Oh dear, I hadn't realized the situation was so dire.
That's why they can't afford to spend too much time investigating the cases, trying the criminals to the court. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person.
That's not very good.
That's terrible. I suppose that's harsh reality workings of the world's great justice system.
I suppose it is, but in that case, I don't hold out much hope for Soseki-san. Especially with all the racists here, my god.
Thank you for answering so many questions, Iris. This has been very informative.
But it's the law of Ace Attorney, of course it is.
Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun.
Do you happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is at the moment? As you guessed, I would like to ask him some questions about this case as well.
Ah, well, I expect Hurley is still investigating the scene.
Of the case involving Natsume, you mean?
Yes, Mr. Nuts, May?
Hurley said he was going to the man's lodgings.
If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there.
Iris, do you know where those lodgings are?
Well,
I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? Do you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson while you were there?
He's the killer, obviously. Yeah, maybe. Could be.
Yes, we know Inspector Gregson.
Ah, goody in that case. Give Grexy this from me, would you? If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know.
What is this? A 5-shilling piece and a postcard, it seems. Iris's postcard has been entered into the court record. Okay.
It reads,
Tell the gentleman in the back what he wants to know. I trust that I won't be a problem.
Gosh, this will make the inspector help us, will it? Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try.
Good luck, then. I'm going to return to writing my manuscript, The Speckled Band. And I'll be making special blends of tea. So come back again soon.
We'd be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris.
Aww, friendship.
Friendship never ends. If you want to be my lover, you have got to give. Taking is too easy, but that's the way it is. So you want to solve the case, now you know where to go. She's given me a postcard to give to the detective. You want to find Sherlock? You gotta give it a try. If you really bug him, then he'll say goodbye.
Friendship again. So somewhat dubious that they would exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard at all. We have headed back to the scene with Iris's curious note and the world's heaviest silver coins in the hand.
Ah, see?
To be continued. Let's play some more, I don't care. Maybe we won't finish the case, but... Save your current progress? Sure. It has been an hour and a half. I'll go longer. Frick it, man. I don't care. Maybe I won't finish the second part, but... That's alright. That's alright. That's okay. We're gonna have fun anyway. Let's play a bit more.
Friendship.
Friendship again?
Fatality. Friendship.
We may not finish it, but I'm still feeling chipper enough.
19th of February, 2:38 p.m., Briar Road.
It looks as though the police are still here carrying on with whatever their investigation.
Perfect. So let's find Inspector Gregson as quickly as possible.
Yes, and let's see if he'll take a break from his chips to look over the silver tip Iris gave for him.
Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a little something right here. Inspector Gregson, do you have a moment?
I'm sorry to say I don't. I'm a very busy man. Much too busy to talk to a pair of foreign gadabouts, that's for sure.
We have these for you. A present from Miss Iris Wilson.
What? For me? From her ladyship?
Her ladyship?
Give that here at once. Come on, hand it over. That's for me.
Ugh. Don't wait for me to give it to you, will ya? What was that coin exactly?
It's a silver crown, obviously, but it's more than that. It's, well, an appearance fee, that's what it is.
An appearance fee? Oh,
I see. You mean...
That's right, for the adventure of Herlock Shows. Her ladyship always offers me a little financial reward for featuring me every time.
Yes, yes, of course. I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them avidly.
Course, using my name without my say-so does make me the butt of a lot of unpleasant jokes, but still.
I am sorry, Inspector. That must be difficult for you.
Never you mind that. So, what do you want to know then, eh?
Sorry?
Tell the gentleman in the black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem, it says. Well, obviously it's not a problem. Go on, fire away. What do you want to know?
Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector, we'd very much like to know the address of Mr. Natsume's lodgings.
Ah, the little knife-wielding, mustachioed Japanese fella. He lives in the right old oval, just over there, look.
On the first floor of that house on the corner where that wreck above a bicycle's popped up. That is a wreck of a bicycle, alright. That's probably a clue of something.
Friendship.
That is nearby indeed.
If I remember rightly, the landlord of Mr. John Garrido. Right, well, if you see her again, make sure to give her ladyship my regards, you hear? I mean it, you tell her Gregson sends his very best wishes.
Don't worry, Inspector, we will.
Goodbye for now, then.
Bicycle is why Natsume attacked the lady.
Goodbye now, then, and long live her ladyship.
What the hell? Her ladyship? She's probably a royal.
I will never be royals, royals. It's about a ladyship. She's rather small, but she's a genius. And now I got a poker chip. I got a little bit of sauce on my mustachio. And that's what I say. Let me live that fantasy. The London streets are very cold. I got my bobbies on the scene in the video game.
I was gonna buy for more chips for the trial. Yeah.
And I know Sherlock cracked the code. He's quite obscene, but at least he got money.
Well, at least he told us what we want to know before he left.
Yeah, so then, shall we go see what we can find in Mr. Natsume's lodgings?
Definitely! Definitely!
I bet you that bike is a clue, huh? Gosh darn looks like it. Yeah, gosh darn looks like it.
And everybody's saying gold chips, fish and chips in the back, a delicious little fish and chips. Wanna eat 'em all, it's never ending. I got fish and chips in my dreams. Everybody's got bobbies on the street looking for clues, and now I find myself having a snooze. It's okay. I got fish and chips in my dreams, and we never be royals.
Alright, I'll stop now. Sorry. 19th of February, Mr. Natsume's lodgings.
Oh my lord. May I help you?
Yes, that would be the...
Would this be the residence of Mr. John Garrido?
Indeed it would, sir. And who may I say is calling?
My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Mr. Naruhodo is representing Mr. Soseki Natsume. I believe he takes lodgings here.
Oh!
We would very much like to ask him some questions about our client.
Oh! I've got big cheeks. Hear them wiggle. Big cheeks. Very wiggly.
Calm down there, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Look at all them wiggle. Oh! One moment, please. I shall convey the message to Mr. Garrido.
Did you see that, Miss Susato? That was a real-life English maid. I know. She even looked like a piece of pudding. Can you imagine taking a bite out of that ass? I mean, I didn't say anything. As I understand it, anyone standing in English society employs a number of household staff. But that was the first time I've ever seen one in the flesh. Oh, this day keeps getting better.
It certainly feels like we really arrived now, doesn't it?
We need only to meet a butler and the experience will be complete.
Well, I'm not sure if I'd go that far. I understand the sentiment, though.
Thank you for waiting, Mr. Garrett. We'll see you now this way.
Oh my god. Look at this. Look at this, bro. Boom, boom, boom. Whoa. Place is a bit ramshackled, eh?
Good day to you. John Garridev at your service.
Pleased to meet you, sir. This is Ryonosuke Naruhodo. He's a defense lawyer.
Do excuse me not getting up. Took a shot to the knee a few years back in the Battle of My Wand, don't you know?
I took an arrow to the knee. Operation, it was a whole bucket C. Operation, and now I have to pee. Operation, I got back in Skyrim a few years earlier. Now I took an arrow to the knee.
And to battle for my pains, but I had to withdraw from service. Handed over the reins to the up-and-comings.
So he's a retired soldier.
It's a hell of a job getting up and down the stairs now that I tell you. Don't get out much as you can imagine.
Yes, it's quite a climb up here to the second floor, isn't it? I was panting at the top of the stairs.
You really must take more exercise, Mr. Naruhodo. Ugh, do you think so? Well, Mr. Garrett, no doubt you were very courageous to earn yourself a medal.
Oh, it was nothing. The medal's just folderol, really. Wouldn't like to offend the general, though, so I grudgingly displayed it on the wall. Why don't you fetch it down, Joan? Let these good people see it properly.
Oh,
Joan, fetch the... Ah! Dash it all, woman. Be careful.
Oh, dearie me, I do beg your pardon, sir.
Oh, you jolly nearly took the skin off my hands.
I shall be more careful, sir.
So anyway, there you have it, living the quiet life now.
Yeah, I see.
Now then, I hear you want to know about the chap lodging downstairs, is that right?
She lied as naturally as she breathed. They're lucky there are survivors. This is funny as hell, dude.
Yes, we'd be very grateful if you could answer some questions for us.
Only two, please, naturally, especially if it helps keep the peace here in Blighty.
What are you doing with the pipe, bro? You stirring your tea with a pipe? That's not sanitary, my dude. Ew.
Gross. A little tobacco with your tea there, huh? I bet that gives it some extra flavor. Jesus Christ.
Damn. We've forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan as recently as I'm sure you are aware. So this case is very much in the public eye, as it were. I'm the one drinking the tea. What should it matter?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, cancer, carcinogens in the tobacco in your tea, you know. It's not good for you, bro.
So this case is very much in the public eye, as it were.
Oh, is it?
Even had some famous detective poking around, you know, this old house, would you believe?
Yes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes?
Ah, could have been, didn't catch the chap's name. Not really my cup of tea, all that detective business.
Oh, but
you have a copy of Rent's magazine here, so...
Pried into my secrets, this little hussy. I have to teach her a naughty lesson, that little hussy. I'm Anyway, the chap's investigating the foreigner's room as we speak. Oh.
So he's in Saseki-san's room?
It's a bally nuisance, is what it is. The whole neighborhood's twitching its curtains now. I don't like all the fuss. It's jolly unsettling.
About Mr. Natsume, then, Mr. Garadeb? Please do tell us.
Ah, yes, the Japanese chap only been lodging here for a week.
Oh, just 1 week?
So he moved in very recently, then? I have 2 lodgers most of the time, one on the ground floor and one just below us. On the first floor room became available a week ago, you see, there'd been... Ah! Dash it all, Joan, do be careful.
Oh, my goodness, I'm very terribly sorry, sir.
Oh, Lord Almighty.
If you want to know my opinion, I thought he was a shady sort from the moment I saw eyes on him.
Oh, why?
He seemed to have a most nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulder. The man's shady, written ugly, sweat-soaked brow, if you ask me. Oh, I said to myself, Joan, the man is trouble. Sooner or later he's going to do something untoward. And I'm really wrong about anything.
We won't be calling this maid as witness, that's for sure.
Was there anything else that struck you as suspicious about the man at all?
Oh? Yeah, of course indeed there was.
And she's dying to tell us. Do you notice anything else about your lodger, Mr. Natsume?
Oh my word, yes. The man was shadier than an orchard.
Could you elaborate?
Well, take the man's room. Absolutely stuffed full of books. It is. More than anyone could ever read. And he never so much as passes the time of day with another living soul. I haven't seen a single visitor call. He just trots off to the old bookshop every single day and comes back with a fat 5 to light the gas fire. And funny little man is up long past the time everyone else in the house has gone to bed too.
Oh, I see.
The gentleman on the ground floor goes to bed at around 9 each night. But I've never known a Japanese fellow to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning.
Could you clarify something, I wonder?
This woman is a crackhead. Good lord.
What did you say? Did you call me a crackhead? Well, only in my spare time. You know, I'm rather plump down in the old badonkadonk, so I may or may not be spending some of my nights down in the street in London, earning a few shillings on the side. And I do mean on the side, sometimes from behind. I mean, you know, what do you want to know? I got that honky-tonk, badonkadonk.
So you know so much about Mr. Natsune's routine. How do you know?
Oh,
I'd understood that neither of the lodgers live on this floor of the house. Is that correct?
That's right. Yes, they're both below us, on the first floor and in the street level.
Then how is it that you know so much about the lives of your lodgers? The precise times they come back in the evening, for example, even the times they go to bed.
Good grief, Joan. Be more careful, woman.
Oh, my goodness, I'm terribly sorry.
Yeah, they're peeping Toms, dude. These are creepers, is what they are. Some racists.
Something doesn't add up here.
It seems that the incident took place around 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out of the window around that time?
The window?
Yes, we noticed the window over there looks out over Briar Road. The incident took place on the pavement just far side of the street. Was there anyone suspicious loitering nearby?
5 o'clock is dinner time in the Garadeb household, so I'm afraid I do not remember seeing anything. How about you, Joan?
No, it would have been dusk outside already at that hour. And with the fog as well, I should think it would have been quite impossible to see the other side of the road.
Oh, I see.
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary then? Such as... anything at all? Even if it seems unrelated?
Well,
Yes, was there something then?
well, it's nothing particularly significant, but around the same time here, Ow! For the love of God, Joan, watch what you're doing.
Oh, dearie me! What have I done? I'm awfully sorry, sir.
Do be more careful, woman.
Of course,
He was about to spill the beans and she stopped him. That maid is sussy. That maid is very, very sussy.
Something fishy going on here. Oh, Lucy! You got some splaining to do.
oh, it wasn't me. Oh.
Game of Life believes that she wants Natsumi to go to the slammer, and in that I concur. This fine gentleman of war has been trying to give us information many times, but she, this maid of Badonkadonk-land part-time hooker, has also decided to thoroughly drowse our man's hands in very scalding tea every time he wants to give us information. This is very sussy, and she needs to be voted off the island. Eject her.
Oh, yes?
I have an exceedingly good memory as far as I remember. Nothing of any significance took place here at that hour. Nothing at all.
Oh, really? Mr. McGarrett? The way you were talking before, it sounded rather like there something might have been.
Oh, well, as I was saying, it's just a trifling matter, really nothing of... Oh! What, gosh darn it, Joan, what's the matter with you, woman?
Beg your pardon, sir. Nothing happened.
Yes, quite. Nothing happened. We sat down to a quiet, uneventful meal. Joan?
That's right, Mr. Guerrero.
What is the matter with these two? Joan the imposter. Yeah, Joan of Bark more like. Joan of Schmark more like. Joan of the dark side more like.
Heh.
Do it. Join the dark side of the force, Luke. You must join the dark side of the force. Do it. Give in to your hatred.
Sounds like something happened here in this room on that evening incident, but what? I wish I knew. Sussy, sussy. Could you please tell us which floor Mr. Natsune's room is on?
Why, certainly, just below us on the first floor.
And Mr. Sholmes is investigating there even as we speak?
Yes, told me Nat's his name, asked him to look into the matter, so I gave him the key.
Mr. Natsume is engaged in Mr. Sholmes' services? That's a blatant lie. Would it be alright if we also had a look around in Mr. Natsume's room, I mean?
Don't see why not. It's just down one flight of stairs.
Who knows if we'll find anything that could be help with us in the case, but we have to try. We need all the clues we can lay our hands on, shall we? Yes, and while we're there, we can speak with Mr. Sholmes again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us more. Yeah, she is sussy. This maid is definitely sussy, dude. Either she did it or she knows who did it. She's covering up something up here, definitely. I'd like to explore the room because I'm sure there's some significant clues here, but I'm gonna stick with the story just because we've been streaming for so long. We're gonna continue. Okay. And I'm also gonna sip some water real quick. Holy shiz, bro. My god. Place is infested. There's an echo! kitty.
Meow.
Ooh, just look at this place. And smell it. It's so musty in here. I suppose it's the mountains of old books that are responsible for that.
I don't think I've ever seen so many books at all in my life.
No, me neither.
It's so dark in here, too.
Is that the new window over there? Well, it was the window, I think. Yes, once upon a time. But for some reason, it's been closed up with bricks and mortar. So this is where Mr. Natsume lives.
By the way,
Kitty!
I haven't spotted Mr. Sholmes anywhere in here, have you?
No, that's true, but according to what Mr. Garadeb told us, the great detective should be around here somewhere investigating. Yeah, he's probably buried behind some books somewhere.
Or he's turned himself into a cat. That would be something the great Sherlock Holmes would do, impersonate a cat. Meow meow. Oh, pussy pussy, are you Mr. Sherlock Holmes?
Meow.
I guess not.
Meow, meow.
Do you know where Mr. Sherlock Holmes is?
Meow, meow, meow.
Yes, he's hiding.
Meow, meow, meow.
He also tried to eat some of your food. Shame on you, Sherlock. I mean Herlock. I mean Schmorlock. I mean Schmorgasborg. I mean Borgalog.
The great detective should be around here somewhere investigating.
Kitty.
Let's look around. Where are you, Sherlock? We gotta look at the kitty, come on.
Beep, beep.
Hello, Liam. Aw, so cute. How was your kitty?
oh my, what an adorable little cat.
The cat food just looked appetizing. You can't blame him.
Hello, Liam.
How is little Gray?
Perhaps he's looking after the books while his master is away.
I don't know about that. He disappeared in that pile of books as quick as a flash. It was a tricolor Mike, wasn't it? Do they even have that sort of cat here in Great Britain?
Perhaps Mr. Natsume brought the little creature with him from Japan.
That made me feel homesick now. On me sleeping. Aww, Gray is on you sleeping.
No. No, kitties.
My Rizzo is pretty sick. I think she's going to pass away soon, but who knows? Maybe not. She's so skinny. But she's very old, so it's okay. Anyway, enough of that.
Already, we've been here in the country for 2 days.
Neko?
Oh, look, it's a beckoning cat from home.
It's a bit big and bulky, isn't it? Surely Mr. Natsume didn't bring that Maneki Neko all the way from Japan with him.
I hardly think you're in position to comment, Mr. Naruhodo. Are you forgetting the enormous Daruma doll that you brought in your luggage? Well, it can be dangerous traveling abroad. I wanted a lucky charm. Well, I imagine Mr. Natsume wanted the same, and this cat is sure to beckon good luck to him.
It's not doing a very good job so far, is it?
You mustn't say such things.
I didn't say a word. Why are my eyes such a giveaway? There's a safe back there. This appears to be some sort of meter on the wall over here. It looks very robust. I wonder what it's for. There's a slot for inserting something.
Ah, I believe this is a gas meter, Mr. Naruhodo.
A gas meter?
Yes, it seems they piped gas in the district, which customers pay by putting coins in the meter.
So if we were to put a coin in the slot...
that would be enough gas to use the lights and gas for the fire the whole night.
So if you're too poor to have a coin, you'd have to spend a night in dark and freezing cold?
That's right, as a rich man would who only carried crisp white notes.
Ooh, London is a scary place. 726S. What is that? Mega Feastal. Mega Feastal. I'm just kidding. I don't know what that move is. Mega Feastal.
That desk seems to be wedged in a crevasse between the mountains of books on either side. I suppose Mr. Natsume would sit here and read while stroking his cat.
But surrounded on all sides by these towering old tomes, surely he dreamt of books at night as well.
Yes, he must have done, mustn't he? Oh, what's this? It's a receipt from a second-hand bookshop. Your books. Oh yes, Mr. Satsume's name on it. Look, and the date of the purchase is 2 days ago at 4:45 p.m. That's the day of the incident. That's just a short while before he was embroiled in the terrible attack.
His jump back projectile? Oh. What is it, Chip or Kai?
Meow. Nato.
I was playing, I was playing Blado's, Jacko yesterday and today. It's kind of embarrassing, but not really, because Blado's kind of a genius. But he beat me, I think, like 25-21 yesterday, maybe 22. And then today we were like even. We didn't keep track because we played on the floor 10. Yeah, his Jacko's getting pretty good.
He must have been on his way back from buying some old books.
A second-hand book receipt has been entered into the court record. All right, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look. Sum of 2 shillings tendered to the receipt of the picturesque Monsieur Lecoq. A meal for Garibaldi. Canterbury yearnings. Okay. Hands in the island cracked a code. Look at all these books stacked up there. They almost reach the ceiling.
They're all works of English literature, and they all smell so musty.
With this volume of books at hand, you'd never be short of reading material, would you?
No, what a dreamy idea.
A bad dream, maybe, for me at least. Mind you, I don't imagine that the books at the bottom of the pile will ever be read again.
So reading is an experience that comes but once in a lifetime, just as the tea ceremony teaches us.
I certainly didn't expect the conversation to turn in the path of tea ceremony philosophy. Oh, there he is. Where did you jump off to, good sir? Too bad for him I don't lose SMH. Okay, Mr. Rage Quit. Hey, we all rage quit sometimes. I'm just saying. I'm not quite ready with my testament to get into heaven yet, but I'm close. I'm close. You didn't rage quit. He was hiding behind the giant pile. I became one with the books, you see. I am a very sussy boy. Also, I turned into a cat and ate his food. You were forced to go to a family thing. Oh, that's fine. How was it? Did you have fun? We'll play more soon, probably more. Although I don't know about tonight.
Ah, look, Mr. Naruhodo. Aha! There he is. Where did he appear from? He seems to be engrossed in the pages of an old book.
I hope he won't mind if we disturb him.
Hello, Mr. Sholmes.
You two, good day. Now, let me see. Where was it that we met?
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, we were together on the SS Buria.
Yes, of course, the Buria. And let me see. What happened on that voyage?
It was Kazuma Asogi. He died, tragically, but you were a great help to us.
Yes, but of course, the case of Mr. Asogi. It was the one with the snake, wasn't it?
Oh.
Well, you seem to remember something of it, at least.
What an honor to be remembered vaguely by the great Herlock Sholmes. This is Mr...
Oh, no, my dear madam. Hold your tongue. I pride myself on my superior powers of recollections. Your names are safely recorded in my brain attic. Miss Naruhodo and Mr. Susato.
Try the other way around, Mr. Sholmes.
I lose the first round.
Oh, yeah, you said you didn't see your sister.
Peter's back!
Welcome back, Peter. He's back.
In truth,
how was Call of Duty, Peter?
In truth, I had hopes to invite you both to my Baker Street suite the other day we arrived in London. But some Scotland Yarders ambushed me at the railway station and whisked me away to a crime scene. It was an entirely trivial case, of course. I solved the matter in no more than 30 minutes.
So they apprehended Soseki-san in that short amount of time?
I'm afraid the pursuance of a new case has dulled my recollection of my past involvements a little.
A little.
It's a mistake to think that the one's brain attic is elastic walls that can extend in any direction. I do my best to forget useless facts, lest they show elbow out the useful one.
I'm super bad, but it's fun. I need to stop getting dizzy and sleeping from 10:30 to 4. Whatever, bro. It's summer vacation, but you better stop soon. You better get back on your sleep schedule before school comes back.
Yes, of course. Those are my own words of imitable wisdom, you know, from an adventure entitled A Study of Scarlet.
Please, there's no need to quote yourself.
I don't always remember my pearls of wisdom, but fortunately my associate pens them beautifully.
He means Iris, I suppose.
Mr. Sholmes, we have some extremely important questions to ask you about the trivial case you just mentioned.
Goodness, what an earnest expression! My dear madam, I should only be too pleased, and this murky room is an apt place to discuss this murky case.
You have a day and a half? You're effed, bro. You're effed, bro! You're gonna be snoozing through math class, bro! Liam, get up!
I want 6p. Ban it.
Liam, what are you talking about?
Jacko, so hot. Kai Kiski, worst character in the game, needs buffs.
Liam, you're talking in your sleep. Wake up.
Soul is my daddy.
Dreaming of the Jacko crouch. I mean, who doesn't? We know this to be the lodging of a Japanese foreign student by the name of Soseki Natsume. It seems that you assisted in his arrest, Mr. Sholmes, for the stabbing of a young woman outside here on Briar Road.
Natsume. Yes, I believe it was a name rather along those lines.
But Mr. Natsume denies it. Was it really justifiable to arrest him on so little?
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Usato-san, but I've not the slightest idea about what you mean.
What?
I can't believe he was looking at Susato-san squarely in the eye while feigning ignorance.
I assure you I'm not really feigning ignorance. I would appear as if the pair of you were under some misapprehension.
Oh, how?
I assure you I have no recollection of accusing your stooped compatriot of crime.
But that doesn't make sense. The good detective of Scotland Yard made the following request of me, and I quote verbatim.
The good detective of Scotland Yard made the following request of me, and I quote verbatim.
Hell nah, Coleman's mustard is clearly the better mustard. Next time you swear like that defending cheap crap, I'll fight you, punk.
Oops, wrong chat. Milk.
Run! He's coming for my mustard!
Is it sad that I've never tried Coleman's mustard before? I'll tell you, I like that fancy Dijon mustard, bro. Don't give me none of that yellow American mustard. I mean, it's okay, but it just kind of tastes watered down and looks like somebody's vomit. Kind of boring tasting. I like the French mustard. Give me the seeds. Give me that bitter vinegar flavor, bro.
A man's mustard is a man's life. He said, "We need to ascertain the identity and whereabouts of a man seen fleeing the scene of the crime."
Ah, a man seen fleeing.
There were a number of books scattered on the pavement at the scene. From the book plates, I was quickly able to determine the bookshop from which they had been purchased. On speaking with the proprietor, I was immediately led to this address. Elementary, wouldn't you say? I believe that there is a receipt around here somewhere from this establishment in question.
So you don't think Mr. Natsume is the culprit then?
That I could not tell you. But it was aggravating my faculties, hence how I returned here. However, the place is such a trove of fascinating books, I found myself quite lost in a bibliography. Do not be deceived in believing that I am a man of leisure. No, no, no.
Oh dear.
Game of life, you get it. You get it. That's right. Mustard is love. Mustard is life. If you don't have a mustard on a good Sammy, you just wasting your time, you know? And not every sandwich, don't get me wrong, like, you know, a little mustard on some, like, turkey or ham is excellent. You know? A little bit of mustard on a sauerkraut on a brat. Definitely, bro. You ain't giving me no brat without no mustard and no sauerkraut. I'll punch you in the eyeball. And then I'll punch you in the other eyeball. Then I'll punch you in the titty. Mustard, ew, nasty. Oh, okay. I see what we got here. We got a anti-mustard chap in our room, boys. What are we gonna do with this kid? He looks like Voldemort and he doesn't like mustard. You see what we do with anti-mustard people in this chat? Oh. We take him out to the woodshed, we put him on Guilty Gear Strive, and we beat the crap out of him with Testament until he cries like a little baby. See? And then we make him sleep with the fishes. Actually, the dishes. Because we're not violent. We're not violent here in this stream. We just make him sleep with the dishes. That's all. We don't kill people. You don't like mustard or ketchup? What the heck are we got going on with this guy? Oh, he's a rebel, is he? Ah, stories, tell me. Have you encountered the landlord of these lodgings? Yes, Mr. Garadeb, a retired military man. It was the first time I've ever met a soldier from the great British institution that is the services. I was gonna go ahead and some Strive, and then I realized it was 60 to 90 bucks. Yeah, wait till it's on sale. It's also going to be crossplay, which is really sweet because according to the data right now, 75% of people that are active on Strive are active on PC, and only 25% are active on PlayStation. There's still a good amount of people playing the game, but it's not like enormous. You know? It's not like as many as Dragon Ball Z or anything like that. That game is still ridiculously big in terms of lobbies. But, I mean, you know, you can always find a match. But, yeah, once it becomes crossplay, then we should have like a ridiculous amount of competition, which is awesome. So, yeah. Wait till it's on sale. Yes, I did spend $90 on the game, and I do not regret it, but, you know, if you don't know if you're going to play it competitively, then there's no point. It's expensive. Anyway. It was the first time I've ever met blah, 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 blah. Oh. I didn't think it was that funny. I do apologize. As you may well be aware, many households in London employ a maid. Playing with randos, just asking to get double perfected. Not really. I mean, maybe when you just start, but the good thing about Strive is they match you with people who are around your skill level. Then you can climb the ranks. But I kind of like losing because then I improve. If I just beat people who are not as good as I am, then it doesn't really help me get better, you know? So I like playing Blade and people online who are in heaven a lot. So, anyway, yes, that's true. Yes, I read as much in my Great Britain primer. And so, conversely, whether or not a household employs a maid has come to betoken the societal standing of those dwelling therein. Betoken their societal standing? Sorry? Put simply, my dear fellow, those who employ at least a single maid are considered middle class. Those who do not are beneath that. In the upper echelons of society, of course, households employ enough staff to constitute a large family.
Goodness, how extraordinary.
As you can appreciate, for those on the precarious boundary between middle and lower classes, being able to afford just one maid is of the first importance.
I had no idea.
And it is for precisely that reason I find great stimulation in the situation upstairs, specifically in the retired army veteran, Mr. John Garadev.
Oh?
Affable as he is, the fellow's hiding something. Yeah, no kidding. Whether or not it imposes on the circumstances of this case, I'm yet to unable to ascertain. I'm thoroughly lost on what he means to say. Well, then go to school, bro. Go to college. Learn English. Not that hard. A dingy room. You have PTSD from Skullgirls? Yeah, I believe it. I've never played Skullgirls, but that game looks tough, dude. That game looks tough. I bet Strive is easier to learn than Skullgirls, to be honest. But I don't know. I may be wrong. Skullgirls seems tough. With all the assists and stuff like that. And you got combos that last for like a minute. No thank you, I'll pass. The good news is Strive, at least if you're going to die, it's not going to take a minute for you to get comboed. You're just going to die in like 10 hits or 5 hits. And you'll be like, oh, well, that was something. Doesn't waste my time.
This room is thoroughly suffocating for the soul, my dear fellow. As I assure you, any man whose lot is to dwell in a place such as this will someday stab somebody sooner or later.
Mr. Natsume has stabbed no one.
Ah, but sooner or later, as I said.
I don't believe that's the issue here. About this dark little room, Mr. Sholmes.
Why is there no longer a window?
Oh, why is there no longer a window? Do you have any idea?
No window?
Well, I mean, I can clearly see that there is a window of sorts. But it's been completely blocked with bricks.
Ah, I see. The answer to that question is quite simple. Window tax.
Window what? What is that? Surely not a tax on windows.
Precisely that.
This actually did exist, by the way. This is a true thing in the UK. You probably knew that from your history class. This actually is a real thing.
Precisely that.
Oh my goodness!
Until relatively recently, a tax was levied on households in this country by the number of their windows. Those of lesser means, having inherited a sizable and costly family home, perhaps rapidly closed the windows up. While the rich open windows here, there, and everywhere. In an effort to curry favor with those in power by furnishing them with large sums of tax money.
How awful! And unjust, forcing people to live in rooms devoid of light?
Indeed, disease was rife as a result. So some 40 years ago or thereabouts, the window tax was abolished.
Hey, Raitsa! Good to see you, buddy! You're back! Did you have a good weekend, Raitsa?
But surely its legacy remains, as you can see, in squalid lodgings as these, for example.
The other thing they did, by the way, they taxed... You'll if you go to, like, medieval towns in Europe, especially in the UK, but also in other places like France, you'll see a lot of buildings that have really tiny base floors, and then they build like larger, bigger, expansive second floors, and then overhanging balconies, and then third floors even higher than that. Usually a medieval lodging wouldn't have more than a third floor, but I mean it could. It depends on how wealthy somebody was, but they'll have really tiny first floors. That's because tax was paid in the square foot in a lot of medieval towns from the bottom floor. It didn't count how big the building was above it. So they'll have these tiny little shops in the first floor, and then they'll have bigger living areas above where merchants would reside. Work on the bottom floor, reside on the top. It's actually beautiful, honestly. Medieval towns are just gorgeous. I've been to. I could just go on and on, but anyway, enough of that. They tax the floor plot. Yep, this is true. Anyway, I love the UK and Europe in general. I miss it. I want to go back. I wish coronavirus would suck a big one and leave, but it's probably not. I hope Mama Vita gets better too. Yeah, okay. I suppose Mr. Natsume's stipend for living here in London isn't very generous, perhaps.
It would appear so. I've done a little digging and discovered that these lodgings were offered at an extraordinarily low price.
Was that the confirmation thing? How did it go, right, sir? Did you have fun? Because the room is so awful, I should think.
Apparently,
Mr. Natsune only moved here about 1 week ago.
Yes, that's correct. However, I don't believe the low rent is explained by the shabby nature of this accommodation.
Oh?
Still, that is of little relevance here, a matter not worthy for further attention.
Are you sure? I'm curious now. The whole week? Did you have fun? What'd you do? We've missed you, right, sir? No, Fall Guys and all that stuff, you know?
Well, I believe I've told you all I can for now.
Thank you, Mr. Sholmes.
Ah, yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Was it not your intention to become a practitioner of law?
You remembered that, did you?
Will you perhaps be offering your services at this very matter, I wonder? To the occupant of this room, Mr. What was it?
I'm not sure.
Not sure? On what grounds?
Well, I actually defended someone in court here only yesterday.
Really? Well, then I congratulate you, sir, on an ambition realized, and so promptly, too.
The thing is, it really made me question things. Am I right to believe in my clients? To trust in their innocence?
Yes, trust.
It was pretty fun. Did you meet some girls? Ooh, somebody's calling my phone. Who the fuck? What is it? Oh, well, I'll get it later.
I'm in the middle of a stream here, people. You have to leave your name and number. This is La Vida Virtual, streamer extraordinaire, voice actor for all the characters in Great Ace Attorney. Please leave your name and number after, and I will give you a punch in the nuts. Goodbye.
Jerry said Iron Giant is easy because all you gotta do is down air special. I have no idea. I haven't touched that game, and I don't think I will, to be honest. But I'm glad you're having fun. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trash talking it. I'm sure it's good. Honestly, it's free, which is nice. And I heard there's like 150,000 people playing it actively when it launched, which is crazy, dude. That's like fighting game history or something ridiculous like that. That's really insane, honestly. Just goes to show that people need to make free-to-play fighting games. Honestly, they really do. They're gonna make money. They're gonna make money in advertising, and then they can start nickel and diming you like Genshin Impact does. People need to think about doing that. Do more free-to-play fighting games where you get people to buy DLC. You get them hooked, and then you reel in the bait. You know? You know? I think it's smart. Mr. Sholmes?
Mr. Natsume didn't do it, did he? My dear fellow, having the first idea.
Oh, but I thought that's why you were here. Didn't you come back to investigate?
Yes, that was indeed my initial intention, but there are simply too many fascinating books here. I couldn't possibly ignore them.
Oh, I see.
Nevertheless, there are two facts that I can still state quite unequivocally. The man who fled the scene of the crime 2 days ago was the Japanese occupant of this room, and there are witnesses who swear to have seen him man commit the crime. That is all I can say. And one more thing.
Oh. What is it, Mr. Sholmes? Tell us.
I cannot say with any certainty whether or not this is in relevance to the case, but I am quite sure that the retired army who owns the property is hiding something.
Mr. Garadeb is? Mr. Holmes said as much before, actually, didn't he?
Anyway, at present, that is really all that plays on my mind in relation to this case.
You have your confirmation on the 13th? Woo! That's exciting. So what is that going to be like? What are you going to be doing, Mr. Reitza? Are you going to become a real boy?
Wow! Reitza's all grown up. Oh no! That means he's gonna be a real boy. Wow!
Mr. Naruhodo, as yet our investigation have uncovered nothing that could establish Mr. Natsune's innocence.
No, you're right.
Perhaps it's time we proceed a little deeper into Mr. Garadeb's secret.
Just remember, I cannot be sure whether the landlord's secret will prove to be of relevance or not. But I wish you every success, of course, Mr. Naruhodo! Hadouken!
A busy man indeed. He's gone back to his book in the corner of the room. Well, let's look around, see if we've examined everything.
And everybody's like, find all the clues in the room full of books and beat yourself over the head. Try not to die out there. There's only Cadillacs in our dreams.
Okay, let's look at the window. Could you even call this a window?
I think so. It was a window at one time, after all. Although, all that remains is a frame around some bricks now.
So really, it's just a wall then, isn't it?
But why would anyone deliberately brick it up like that? I'm afraid I have no idea. Ah!
Perhaps it's... that's alarmingly feasible.
Anyway, whatever the reason, the lack of ventilation in here makes the place very oppressive. It does. I imagine being cooped up in a room like this would be extremely trying.
No kidding. Alright. Let's move to Garadeb's room. Maybe. I'm really not sure.
Oh, seems like it.
19th of February, Mr. Garadeb's room.
You can get married in a church? Ooh! Spooky. Yo, you found the girl of your dreams already? I see. So once you confirmed, you can get married, huh? Aha. Young man, you're already getting married, huh? To each their own, huh? I'm just teasing you. You know I'm just jealous. I'm old as frick, dude. I'm musty as hell. I'm as old as those books down in the room. The chances of me getting married at this point are... Well, you know what? I thought for the last few years I'd finally found the one, but... c'est la vie, as she used to say.
Ah, you Pat again. Tell me, what was the detective chap? I forget his name. Still hard at work down there?
Herlock Sholmes?
Ah, yes. Rings a vague bell. All that detective business isn't really my thing, I'm afraid.
Well, Mr. Sholmes is in his element down there.
Jolly good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, John? Now then, why don't you tell me why... Oh! For the upteenth time, woman, will you watch what you're bally doing?
I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir. My cheeks are as big as the moon, sir. And my butt cheeks are even bigger than the moon, sir. I got a big badonkadonk, sir.
Huh? Ah, yes, of course. Badonkadonk, as they say in the U.S. Honky-tonk. Frightfully rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall ask you to take your leave, if you be so kind.
Oh, yes, of course.
I'm Mr. Woman Not Found. You're still young. You'll have no problem with it, right, son? You're a good guy. You got plenty of time.
We are deeply grateful for all your assistance.
Not at all, not at all. Don't get much chance to talk with young foreigners like yourselves. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps we could see ourselves out.
According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garadeb is hiding something. And since no other avenues of investigation seem open to us at the moment, perhaps we should do some digging.
Okay. He just told us to leave, but it's cool.
Look at that enormous screen. It must have been put there deliberately, surely. Yes, it can certainly seem like someone's trying to hide something from view. What could be behind it, I wonder? I'm going to have a very quick look. Just a little peek. Maybe let's not, Miss Susato. I think the maid is going to head us off with a cup of tea.
Whose butt is that on the edge of the screen?
Is there a butt there, Game of Life? Is there a butt?
Oh!
It's Herlock. We'll talk to him in a minute. I want to explore the house. That looks like a Medal of Honor, and it's showcased on a very grand banner. Yes, it's displayed with some pride, I would say, although it bothers me that it's not straight.
What? That old thing?
Sorry?
I should be glad to see the back of it, but the general would turn in his grave if I disposed of it. The wall's the best place for it. Keeps the bally thing out of my way.
So it's just been polished to shine by accident, I suppose. He's watching the bobbies do their work. He's peeping something, bro. There appears to be an inscription on the metal itself. Look. Let me see. It says, for distinguished participation. It's a participation award. I'm just kidding. Sounds like the kind of honors even I could be in line for.
Well, one doesn't like to blow one's own trumpet, but I was given that for my time in the army. Can't measure an officer by the number of medals to his name, of course. Common knowledge in military circles.
That uniform looks fairly ancient, doesn't it? It's clearly been well looked after, though.
That old thing? Pah, not much better than rags, really.
Oh.
Or that ceremonial garb of my retirement bash, you know. But I'm not one for dwelling on the past. Me would have gladly thrown it out, but you know how it is. Anyway, it doesn't hurt to have the old piece of memorabilia lying around, does it?
Just killed 2 hostages? Peter, no!
You're a murderer. Send him on trial. He's killed 2 hostages. Don't you do that, sir. It's not good for your game.
Oh, I see. Perhaps we should leave the past in the past. Boom, boom, bum, 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 bum. I like the music. Oh, look. What a wonderful collection of cakes lined up on that gleaming silver cake stand. Lined up? Looks more like someone has half demolished them to me.
Afternoon tea is a time of indulgence, you know. It is quite the English way. It is Mr. Garradeb's custom to take 2 cakes with his tea.
That sounds delightful. Oh, wait a minute, though. There are at least 10 cakes on this cake stand.
Well, naturally, it would never do to waste a leftover.
Susanna has a very interesting dictionary. Indeed.
So whatever Mr. Garradeb does not eat, I say to myself, John, you shall have to tidy up and eat every cake. That is why I've got this honky-tonk, ba-donk-a-donk. Yeah, honky-tonk, ba-donk-a-donk. I got them thick French fries, gobble, 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 gobble up.
How magnanimous of you. Look at this crockery on display here. It's rather unusual, isn't it? Oh my, a genuine London dresser? Isn't it delightful? Although shelves seem to be broken, and the crockery is, oh dear, it's in pieces. It really is. The word cracked wouldn't do that chinaware justice. Oh. Ah, I wonder. Perhaps the cannon was fired at it. Yes, probably something like that, but let's not delve too deeply here. We'll talk to Mr. Sholmes in a moment, Tito. Oh, there's something here, too. This old candle holder looks a little out of place here, wouldn't you say?
Oh, it is me, Lumiere. I have been kidnapped from Beauty and the Beast. They took me from a faraway place in France and they teleported me to this old maid here in London, England. Won't you save me, mademoiselle? Take me back to France where I belong.
That thing is weird and cursed. I think we'll just leave it. Okay, run away.
Yeah, you're right. It's clearly supposed to be gold, but it's almost completely black for some reason.
That old thing? Yes, it's just a cheap, commonplace ironmongery grimcrack, really. Oh! Used it when I was studying, don't you know, for my commission. I know it's old, hardly worth hanging on to, really, but, well, it still has uses sometimes.
What are you calling me old? I am Lumiere, the most famous candelabra in the world.
Of course.
I spiked him at 40. Ooh, got him. Nice job, Liam. Does everything in this room have some elaborate story behind it?
They're memories of Mr. Naruhodo, memories.
I am the great Naruhodo son. I eat all of the Englishman. I like to taste the cakes and wheat, and then I put them all to sleep.
I notice I have a large pile of books here, Mr. Garadev. Do you enjoy reading?
Ever experience a London winter, boy? The nights are long.
No better way to pass the time than in front of the fire with a jolly good book.
Oh, there's a copy of Rent's magazine here, I see. No doubt Mr. Garadev enjoys the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, too.
The great detective has a great many followers, it would seem.
Wee wee!
That full-size cannon, what's it doing here?
Oh my, it's real! I thought it might be a replica.
That old thing? Bah, that's little more than a toy.
Sorry?
The army was selling it off when I retired, so I decided to give it a new home. Never know when the enemy might attack next. Jolly useful to have a cannon about the house.
Really, isn't it overkill?
Be prepared, as I always say. You never know what this twisted world is going to throw at you next, boy.
Do you think there may be trouble brewing, Mr. Garadev?
Always is. Take Joan here. Never fails to have a clean apron in reserve. Dries them over the barrel, you see. They dry very well on the cannon there, Joan tells me, which proves my point of view.
It's been reduced to a drying rack. No wonder the huge cannon looks like it's hanging its head in shame. Okay, I think we've... Oh, no, there's something else.
Are those mortar shells? They're enormous!
Ah, I hadn't noticed. What are they doing here?
Ah, those old things? Couple little rounds I accidentally fired into the barracks during training, you know. Became a bit of a colorful regiment folklore, that incident.
You mean you deliberately hunted out the spent shells?
Well, I wouldn't say deliberately exactly. They're only scrap iron, after all. Usually just thrown away, I believe. But you never know when things might come in useful, do you?
Useful for what exactly?
Yes, well, Joan here did manage to knock off one of the bally things on my foot the other day while she was dusting.
Oh, no!
Hadn't shed a tear since 1869 before then, you know?
Maybe reconsider throwing them away?
Ouch, that would hurt.
Have a mortar shell knocked on your old foot. Alright, the old foot ski. Alright, let's talk to... Ooh, there's something here. That portrait of Mr. Garadev is glaring at me, I swear.
Have you noticed that the little frames contain photographic prints of Mr. Garadev as well?
Yes, and there seems to be a statue of a lion on the mantelpiece as well.
Ah, yes, seems to come back from the local pawnbroker with that little trinket.
Seems to come back? What do you mean?
Wee wee!
The chap who runs their place is a bally wizard. Went in to sell him something and came back with that thing. It pointed, in fact. Ah, now that I think about it, I rather often find myself leaving the place with something I don't need.
The lion ornament certainly does seem surplus to requirements.
Susato-san doesn't pull her punches, or her throws for that matter.
Hi-ya! What you say about me, bitch? Susato takedown! Kaya!
Alright, are we done? Jesus Lord. Alright, let's talk to Butts McGee over here. Oh, what's he doing over there?
Mr. Sholmes!
Aha! We meet again, my dear fellows! Good gracious, when did you sneak in here? Herlock Sholmes, sir, at your service.
Well, whatever we were going in there, I don't know.
I am given to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madam. Yet sadly, cheerful as the room downstairs undoubtedly is, it lacks the aperture for such observation. So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up here.
Keeping an eye to one's windows at dusk is prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering. You're gonna hop on Team Fortress 2 with your milk?
Peter is going to win his Team Fortress 2 with the power of milk and vitamin D. He will be strong, he will be smart, he will have very good bones. And with those bones, he shall triumph over the evil that is Team Fortress 2 hackers. They stand no chance against our milk-chugging hero. Will Peter defeat Vegeta? Find out in the next episode of Peter Ball Z. Rated PG-13. 1995 in shipping and handling. Oh, and one more thing, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, me? I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detective's, great mind. Wait, he's not talking about, is he? No, I didn't expect to be going through again that so soon.
Do you mean Mr. Sholmes? There is a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes see even the most trivial of trifles.
I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naruhodo.
I think so.
There is just time enough for one of my greatly admired great deductions. Let us conclude the matter before dark. Here we go. One more time. Everybody's feeling fine. Naruhodo. Yep, here we go. Mr. Sholmes has got the flow. Put your hands to the beat. You find everything you need. Here we go now. Yep, here we go. Mr. Sholmes has got the flow. Mr. Garradum, though it would seem you're a man of military, considerably distinguished service, your standing as a landlord is most certainly not what you might call first-rate.
Ah?
I'm afraid, sir, that it is all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I've been able to draw by careful observation of your living arrangements.
I beg your pardon?
The first is that even as we speak, you are concealing a precious, ferocious beast in your care. Oh, eh? And the second is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you. Mr. Naruhodo, look. The old man's broken out in a cold sweat.
Unbelievably, it seems Mr. Sholmes' conclusions are spot on.
How could you possibly? How could I possibly know, you mean to inquire? The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of the beasts. Ow! And I know only too well that wild beasts are not easily tamed. Yes, there once was a lass I loved her so, but she couldn't be tamed. Her name was Britney Spears. She was, toxic. Anyway. Now I only know too well that the beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present Logic and Reasoning Spectacular! Ba 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 ba! Topic number 1, Nature of the Beast. It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus, we're faced with our question, what form might this beast take? For a man with military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garradib, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast as ran rampant here is revealed by the lion statue. No, it is not. Yes, though an army man, you appear unimposing at best. In fact, the fact has fueled your admiration for the mighty Lion King and the Beast.
What is this, Piffle, I ask you?
In the end, your admiration becomes so great, in fact, that you had living, breathing specimens shipped from India, which you tried to keep in this very house.
What?
Yet living with such a wild beast proved more difficult than you had imagined.
The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence.
Whoa!
Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madam? I pray, do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to see that with one glance in your direction, it is. Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. For protruding from it is a handbill advertising a circus show.
Oh!
Yes, you sought to dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Garadev, at Batty's Circus, a traveling show currently sojourning in a nearby park. I observe the tents. You sold a savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe.
I most certainly did not.
I believe I've made my point. The fearsome beast which ran amok in this room was an Indian lion. And a simple visit to the circus now will reveal the lion prancing jubilantly through a ring of fire.
Okay, Buddy is way off there. Way off there.
Topic number 2, the aftermath. Now, Mr. Garadev, it is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritably tangible.
Herlock Sholmes is a bit like Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, but stupid. But we'll fix his mistakes, Peter. Don't you worry, we'll fix his mistakes.
Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain of you being revealed by that supporting arm. Amidst the fit of tears, you let your beloved beast go. The strain of losing something so dear to you is clearly visible in your visage.
Nonsense, man! I simply...
But what we must ask now ourselves is the true cause of this pain. And we need only follow the directions of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is the pile of bills that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Every envelope contains a demand for payment.
Oh!
For cartloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea.
Cartloads.
Indeed, feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on your financial circumstances of your household. And so you had no choice but to let it go.
Yes, very well,
Oh! Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack.
Unimaginable!
The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I am not mistaken.
I see you like this game. It's too hard for me, I try. No. It's not too hard, Yella. It's not too hard. You can save your progress so that if you fail, you don't have to go back to the beginning. Sometimes I mess up too. I do enjoy this game, yes. Very much so. How are you, Yella?
Oh, dear me!
What could have caused such a destructive outburst? This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes. To explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes.
I didn't know you can save. I'm doing okay. Yeah. Push options. Here, anytime you want to save. If you don't think you know what the right answer is in court, push options and then save. And then if you fail too many checkpoints, you can go back and load. So my advice would be, if you don't know the answers, to save quite a bit. And then you can load your save. In fact, I should save now. It's been quite a while. If we ever have a power outage, I'm kind of screwed. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, it would be hard to beat the game if you couldn't load your saves, yeah.
Yes. To explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes. There is no creature more dangerous on Earth than a beast with unsatiated appetite.
Also, just a tip when you're in a trial. Yeah. You got a tip?
Was it or was it not once said by a certain noblewoman, if they had no bread, let them eat cake?
You want some evidence during cross-examination?
Food is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact.
Whatever do you mean?
Having tired of the taste of case, the beast began to stalk its next prey. I'm sure I need not spell out the nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There's only one logical conclusion. Worked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet. The teeth marks in the carpet are a perfect match with those of the lion I saw once in India.
This guy's on crack. This guy's on crack. This guy's in Marvel vs. Capcom? Yeah. Phoenix Wright is. I don't know about... Is this guy, though? Phoenix Wright definitely is, yeah. Apparently he's pretty good, actually, too. Although I don't think he's, like, top tier. Yeah. I used to play that when I was a kid in the arcades in Las Vegas. Dude, I miss arcades. They like don't exist anymore. Everybody has home consoles, you know, and PCs. Going to an arcade in the 90s was so fun. You have no idea, guys. You're all too young, but holy shit, it was like a freaking like it was the coolest thing ever, dude. There were kids everywhere. It was so fun, dude. He's only broken when he gets into turnabout mode, yeah. Arcades are different nowadays, I know. Dude, it was so fun. They're nigh unrecognizable. Yeah, they're ghost towns, dude. They're ghost towns. They used to be so fun. Oh my god, I have so many fond memories from arcades, dude. Oh well, different world now, right? This is probably better in the long run. I get to play, I mean, god. I would have never imagined when I was a kid, when I was a shy little nerdy, dorky kid, I would never imagine myself being able to talk to people from all around the world and play video games together. How fun is that, right? Yeah. Dude, there used to be like freaking competitions. There probably still are, but there used to be these like huge competitions in my local arcade on Dance Dance Revolution. Do you guys know what DDR is? Oh my god, it was the hottest shiz ever. It was so funny. It was it was so fun. And then Mortal Kombat and like Primal Instinct and like what's that game called? Combo Breaker! What the hell is that game called again? Killer Instinct. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, bro. Anyway, I miss the old arcades, but oh well.
Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this beastly puzzle.
Yeah, you're way off, my bro. All right, we're going to have to fix his mistakes now, gentlemen. This is where you need to save, boys and girls.
Oh! Ultra Combo! Ah! What is the matter with you, Joan? You're pouring scalding water all over me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Garden. I'm afraid I didn't notice.
My deductions can be startlingly sharp. It seems to reason your cup runneth over. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times, too.
Oh!
Mr. Sholmes, sorry to butt in again, but could I make an observation?
Why, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. What is it again?
Well, your deductions just now. Do you really think a lion could have fit inside a room of this size?
Indeed, it is the only explanation for the facts. The terrifying truth often still lies behind the realms of common sense.
But wouldn't it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense, too?
But if an uncaged lion had rung him up in this very room, surely Mr. Guradev and his mane would have been hurt, or worse.
Ah, that's where you are stuck. No doubt the former military man held his own against the beast using a large cannon.
I thought you said that they sold the lion to the circus.
And what about the food?
Meat and potatoes are one thing, But I don't believe I've ever heard of a lion that drinks tea. Aha! My dear Susato, it occurs to me with some regularity that irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands on Great British soil, they are infused with a highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea! Ultra Combo!
Oh, what a glorious notion. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's your turn to shine again.
I had a feeling that was coming.
A slight massage, that's all Mr. Sholmes' deductions need. You can do it!
Excellent, I've been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward, Mr. Naruhodo.
We don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help Mr. Natsune's case. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation.
At least, that's what I want to believe. Let us start again. From the beginning.
This is where you should save, by the way, if you ever play this game.
Of Herlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular!
Okay, let's take a sip of water real quick.
It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus we are faced with the question, what form might this beast take?
Sholmes is a joy. Yeah, he is great. Yes. I love the cinematic nature of these investigations. As I said during the previous second case, this is way more interesting than the investigations in the first trilogy. I'm sorry to say that they were too long. It's not that they weren't interesting, it's just they kind of were like snooze-felt, you know? This is way more intriguing. They did a much better job in this game. Much, much better job making it interesting. And the animations and the music and the cinematics are very cool.
What form might this beast take? Ah, for a man with military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garrett, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by the lion statue.
Yeah, that's not true. Alright, well now we gotta find out what it really means. I really didn't see the lion thing coming. No, but if you observe Mr. Garrett's reaction, it rather seems as though the beast did indeed run amok here in this room. Yes, something with a very fierce nature. But it couldn't have been a lion transported from India. So what was it then? We must follow Mr. Garrett's gaze. This will lead us to the answer. Oh! Could be the photograph frame here. Providing some entertainment in the investigations, much better than breaking psych locks. I mean, it's a cool concept, the psych locks. I think it's actually a really cool concept. It's just, it's not as exciting. If they had done the psych locks in the same way, I would have been, you know, this is a genius. Whoever came up with this is honestly really, 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 really smart. I'm very impressed with this game. This looks pretty inspectable here. Let's take a look at this. What's this photograph? It appears to be from Mr. Garredeb's wedding. He looks very happy, doesn't he? He does, but you can't make out his bride. How unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly above the woman's face. I wonder what happened. Probably best not to delve too deeply in there. Should we present the bride? Do you think? Less than spectacular execution. Agreed. Do you think the bride is it? So this is where, if you're not sure, Yella, this is where you save, and you're like, there's no penalty if you excuse my language. If you mess up, I haven't slept at all today, so if you mess up, this is where you can come back and load the file. I'm thinking this has got to be it. Honestly, I'm thinking this has got to be it. Let's present it.
Take that!
Take that!
Ooh. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by the newlywed bride.
Precisely, Mr. Naruhodo. No other explanation could possibly fit. You don't think there's anything penalty for getting wrong here? I think there is, actually. Maybe not in this particular part, but later there can be, right? Oh yeah, you're right. You can see on the top right if you get penalized. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yes, this framed picture shows your wife, Mr. Garadev. And while we lament the fact that her face is obscured,
we can still make out her mighty arms and note the considerable horsepower they must contain.
Indeed, surely any woman of such powerful constitution would be honored to be described as a beast.
Honored might be stretching a point.
Too late. The fact remains that the beast, which so clearly savaged this room, was your wife, Mr. Garadev.
Oh-ho!
Round 2, fight. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence.
Well...
Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself.
His wife is the maid. He's just pretending to have a maid so he can look like he's higher stature. It's gotta be, right? That's what I'm thinking. He wanted to be higher up in stature, so he pretended to have a maid, but it's really his wife. I mean, I'm guessing. I don't know. But there's something sussy going on here.
Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madam?
I shouldn't be low class, damn it! Me?
I pray, do you not consider me unchivalrous, but is it plain to me that your glance in one direction?
It is.
Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts.
The poor, fragile, defenseless woman is beside herself. Well, I don't know about fragile. Oh dear. Anyway, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There is no sign of a Mr. Garadev anywhere, Mrs. Garadev anywhere. But it seems there may be a clue as to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Garadev's wife could be.
I'm looking on the railroad all the live long day.
Oh, look what we found here. She's wearing a very large ring. Look. Oh yes, a sunflower design with some rather nice embellishments. And it's on the ring finger of her left hand, which means it's surely a wedding ring. It looks like it's on there for life, too. I can't imagine it would slide off a finger of that size. That's something to think, Mr. Haruto, not to say. Do you know, Mr. Garadev's wife in the photograph had a ring very much like this one. It was a large sunflower design as well. Really? You have a great memory for these things. A large sunflower wedding ring. It's quite a coincidence that they have the same ring, isn't it? I think it's the ring. I think she's the waifu. I do. She's an angry waifu. I don't blame her, dude. She's an angry waifu. Your wedding ring gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts.
Oh!
Indeed it does. That flowery band gleaming on your flower finger gives it away. For it is identical to the one shown in the hand of Mr. Garadev's wife, bride in the photographic print.
In other words, you are no ordinary household maid.
Oh!
No. You are Mr. Garadev's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Garadev herself.
Oh my! Oh, my cheeks. They are flush with determination.
Well, fine detective, sir. As you rightly surmise, this is my wife, yes, my Joan. Rather let herself go, you might say, but she was bally cocoa back. Oh!
It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are a retired army man, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms. Puss. I would assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct? It's not right, I tell you.
I was second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man has his pride, don't you know? By golly, it's a sorry thing when a chap can't afford to have a single maid in his employ. Yes, here in London it is rather judged. A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearances are folly. You mean Mr. Garrett has his wife work as his maid? I shouldn't be low class, damn it! I was right. Precisely, am I right, Mr. Garrett? All in company, obviously, but listen here. This must remain a secret. Tippy-top secret, please. Rampaging Asiatic lion. Raging wife. Comic 2. Aftermath. Now, Mr. Garridev. It is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Well, she is rather curvaceous, if you know what I mean. Oh, baby, those cheeks. The ones on her face are cute too, baby. Indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritably tangible. Oh. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel is being revealed by that supporting arm. Mr. Sholmes is quite something. He's still calling Mr. Garridev's wife a beast. Yes, as a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable. But Mrs. Garridev is standing beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he? Oh, how true. So perhaps the supporting arm that seems to be propping up his head has some other significance then. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garridev's pain is tangible, though. What could be the pose of his really signify? Something sussy. Oh. No. Oh. Slapped cheek. My man got bitch slapped. He probably deserved it, to be honest. Oh my, look at that bright red mark. Gosh, that's quite something, and clearly made by somebody's hand. Yes, Mr. Garridev has been slapped on the face, it seems. Hard. Well, bam! 6p! My boy got 6p'd.
Golden showers, bitches.
I've never seen such a clearly defined mark. Whoever could have done such a thing? Well, there's a very limited number of candidates, I'd say. That's gotta be it, right? What else could it be? It's gotta be.
Take that!
Take that!
Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. You feel the pain being revealed by that slapped cheek. And of course, the deliverer of that impressive mark on your cheek refuses to fade. Was you, Madame Joan Garridev?
Well, yes. I am rather rough in the bedroom, as they say, but he's a kinky boy who likes it. You know, he's a bit of a sob, if you know what I mean.
You should have been desperate enough to hide a slap mark on your cheek, sir. Oh! How the blazes did you work that out, man? Nothing escapes one of trained art of observation, my dear fellow. That is why you haven't looked directly at us even once. To keep your other side from view. Well, Now, let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjected to such a violent slap? In other words, we must ask ourselves what caused Madame Garridev to fly into a rage. And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is this pile of bills that is going to rise to the pain you suffer. Ah! That actually sounds plausible, but no. Didn't Mr. Sholmes say the bills were all for lion fodder? Yes, but now we've established that the lion never existed. Which can only mean the one thing responsible for gobbling up that food was Mr. Garrideb's wife. Mr. Marudohodo, she's a person, not a thing! Yes, well. She's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap round the face. One so hard that it left a perfect handprint on it, in fact.
Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder?
I'd love to know the answer to that question. Oh. The detective? What else could it be? It's gotta be the bookmark, right? Well, let's look and see what it says.
Ah, someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here, look. Mr. Garrideb is clearly an avid reader.
Wha-pam!
Oh, wait a minute. I don't think this is a bookmark. Oh no, so it isn't. It's a note written by a woman's hand. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Maddie.
And next to the signature here, lip marks made with lipstick.
Oh, what a passionate and romantic gesture.
Don't get any ideas, Susato-san.
Oh dear, I'm sorry.
So this bookmark is actually a love note then. So that's why he gave him the slap.
That's why she gave him the slap.
I knew he deserved it.
He's been cheating on the old cookies there, huh? He's been sneaking a couple of cookies out of the jar. How dare you treat your beloved plump waifu that way? No wonder she gave you the cold shoulder, so to speak. The cherry tomato.
Take that!
Take that! Yes. It's this love note that has given rise to the pain you suffer.
Oh, James, I love you, yours, Mary. Passionate indeed.
Perhaps the sender of this note to Miss Mary is the fly in the ointment here.
Oh!
But I don't know the Ballywobble.
You don't know her. That note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how it got there. It was just in there, you say?
That's right. That's what I've been trying to say. Oh!
A likely story.
Now listen here, Joe, an old thing. I explained it at the time. I bought the book at this second-hand place, and the note must have already been in there.
So the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean?
That's right. That's what I've been trying to say.
A likely story.
For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name. It's written to James. My name, in case you've forgotten, is John.
Oh, a likely story.
Are you questioning my name now?
Oh,
Hadouken.
And there we have it. Arouse the suspicions of the female heart, and you shall unleash a beast with a most ferocious bite.
Ooh, I'm coming at you with my Hadouken. Don't mess with me, boys. You trying to put your little pecker in a new woman, and I'll make sure there's no pecker left to pick. With a pike, a pick, a pecker, pick, a pepper. Ooh.
Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. The aftermath of which can clearly be seen observing the carpet over there. A very expensive wooden carpet, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, dearie me.
What could have caused such a destructive outburst?
Oh.
This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes.
But surely Miss Garrideb didn't eat the carpet. No, of course not. But there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray in this room is a result of her wild temper. No, that's true. So this is the last part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction that we need to fix. We need only follow Mrs. Garadeb's gaze, and that will tell us the real answer.
X gon' give it to ya. He gon' give it to ya.
It's my homie, Zion Nation, master of the Resident Evil franchise. Hello? What's good, bro? I'm loving this game, by the way. It's hilarious. Yes. What's good, bro? The candlestick? Probably burned? What else could it be? I mean, it's gotta be the candlestick, right? Or this. The circus? No, it's gotta be the fire. Burned it, right? What else could it be?
Take that!
It's gotta be the candlestick. I mean, look at her! She ate the carpet! Wow. Yes. To explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the candlestick.
Most illuminating, my dear fellow, and of course the only possible way out this logical labyrinth.
Yes. The remnants of the ferocious attack in which the carpet was destroyed are clearly visible.
Indeed they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly give the truth away. Scorch marks?
It would appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation. Not much, Brother Vita, so Wednesday I'll be a premium. Freak yeah! Let's go. You got PS Plus Premium coming right up. Yeah, there's not a huge amount of classic games. The PS3 library is insane though, dude. It's so good. The PS3 library is super, super nice. The old school ones, they're not that many, but I am good. I went to the hospital today. Mama Vita had some really good news on her brain scan, so I'm extremely happy, but I also haven't slept very much. So if I'm extra odd, then you know why. Yeah, the PS3 collection's outrageous. Super, super nice. Unfortunately, you can't stream them. I mean, you know, broadcast them. You can only stream them from the internet. But still, it's really good. It's incredible. Oh! Mr. Garadeb's mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face, but on the entire room. The force of her strike caused the candle to fall from the holder, and in seconds the carpet was alight, the whole corner of the room in flames.
Yes,
for the most ferocious beast in the world is neither violent tiger nor vengeful woman but fire.
You get barely any sleep per day. Ah, poor guy. It was on the cheating. Poor guy, that's not a lot of sleep.
And in this room, the ferocious beast that bore his claws ran amok. Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So you see, there is but one conclusion here. Hadouken! Dance of death.
After the sparks of marital discord flew, this room was the scene of a fire. But how does that help our case?
Mr. Sholmes, sir, I salute you!
Oh. His legs work. Carpet scorched by a small fire. But how does that help our... Never mind. How does that help our case, though? It doesn't really help us much to prove our boy innocent. But we know there's a fire, I guess. That's good.
It is these dashed long winter nights, you know, nothing but read in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just around the corner. Buy old novels there.
And in the pages of one particular novel, you discover some rather illicit material.
For which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems.
Don't know about admonished. Demolished might rather be closer to the mark. And beast is most certainly apt as Here we go again.
Here we go again. And the carpet was destroyed in fire when the candle fell on the floor?
Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. I was caught between an old Styx rage and the raging flames.
You paint a torrid picture, sir. One that would have been most entertaining.
That's sympathy for you. You manage it every day. Poor guy. That's not a lot of sleep, man. Well, that makes me happy. You hate to see it. I know, dude. It makes me happy that you spend some of your day with me. Thank you.
Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. We've had to hide and mess behind that screen for the time being.
Over here, Mr. Garada.
Well, you have nothing more to hide now, if you allow me.
Had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got a hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke.
Gosh.
Then the wife started hurling things at me.
What a terrible sight it must have been.
There was I, back up against the window, under heavy enemy fire, incendiary books incoming 10 to the dozen. Worst of it, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride.
The Lion's Pride?
Ah, yes, your notorious love of big cats coming through again.
What's the name most of the time these pop in? Yeah, thanks, bro. I'm excited for your PS Plus. What are you gonna play? What are you gonna play? What are you gonna play?
I assure you, the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest.
So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast's rampage.
Mr. Sholmes' deductions turned out to be correct once again.
It can only be described as a great British wonder.
I tell you, it was total carnage. Flames everywhere and the old stick in full fettle. Out of interest, what time of day was that? Not sure I can remember. It was 2 days ago now. Let's see. Around 5 o'clock, I think.
That's when the murder happened, so exactly the same time as a terrifying incident was unfolding outside your window on the street below.
Even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you. The whole Blighty could have been flattened outside my window at the moment, and I wouldn't have noticed a dashed thing.
Oh, really?
Ah.
Oh.
Mr. Sholmes?
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo, what can I do for you?
Well, I think we've got to the bottom of Mr. Garadev's situation now, but what does it have to do with Mr. Natsume's circumstances?
I can't help you there, I'm afraid.
Huh?
My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the outset. I warned you that although I knew the retired army man was hiding something, I could not be sure whether his secret would prove to be of relevance or not.
I just knew you were going to say that. Get me examined. Oh, jeez. That's rough, bro.
Now, Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all of the things fall from one or two categories. Those relevant to the case and those not.
That makes no sense to me.
Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now.
Sorry?
Visiting hours of the prison will be soon over.
Huh? Oh no. Is that time already?
If we're to accept Mr. Natsume's case, we have to official paperwork to attend to.
So that's it. No more time to think.
Perhaps you would like to betake yourselves in bidding us farewell now. I must prepare supper for Mr. Gardner.
Mac and cheese! Pog! Sounds delicious, dude. Sounds delicious. I get leftovers from breakfast today, which is exciting. A Denver omelet and some pizza, Little Caesars. Yum. See you later, X. Thanks for coming to the stream.
Thank you both for so much for your time. Soseki-san will be waiting for us.
Good mac and cheese. Yeah, baby.
I'm gonna have to give him the answer. Alright, let's go.
Of course we're going to take his case. How could we not? Oh.
19th of February, Briar Road.
They're not letting me go to the prison.
It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to the prison. Yes, I know. Let's hail a cat. Oh. What's the matter? It looks like something's going on over there in front of the Garadeb's house. Huh?
What?
I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers.
Oh, are you calling an old man, you rum-looking nimmy-pimmy?
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than dreamt in your philosophy.
Who's this Horatio fellow, eh? What you on about?
What the hell is going on here, boys? I gotta take a sip of water.
Excuse me.
Hey, what the? Who are you now?
I'm so sorry. It just looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, is a lawyer, you see?
A lawyer? What?
If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I've studied English law.
Fine, I'll be on my way today, but you mark my words. This ain't over yet.
Bye, X.
Get thee to a nunnery.
Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you?
See?
I do hope you're not injured.
Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentile. Thank you.
What was that all about?
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt in your philosophy.
I'm not Horatio either. Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here? In the Garadeb residence?
Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so right. I do dwell in this humble abode.
Mr. Garadeb mentioned that he had another lodger, didn't he? This must be the man. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor?
Ah, yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy a polemist in my battle of words ne'er could there be.
Sorry, battle, did you say?
Who is stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I sparred long into the night.
I see. I fully don't understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least.
So, fair maiden, so good gentlemen, I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well.
I don't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room. It seems he's unaware of what happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't help us. With Soseki-san, that man as lodgers, the Garadeb household is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I'll go and find a carriage. Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return. Let's hope we can get to prison before visiting hours are over.
Is he the murderer?
19th of February, 6:31 p.m., local prison, cell number 9.
Mambo number 9, a cell 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5. Nobody in the prison house left alive. They gave him gruel and all the cheap whores too. And now everybody's coming with surpies too. It's a 1, a 2, a cell 3, 4, 5.
Oh, it's you. You're here. You came. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I can't believe you came back. I'm so touched. We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume.
Oh, no, think nothing of it. Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Purr, purr. Noble, nurturing, never-failing Nipponese.
Oh, now let's not get carried away.
Oh, I quite agree.
There is nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand,
it is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates that fact. Such is belief, my belief at least. Yes, it's you. The miserable rotter spy, Herr Sherlock Holmes.
Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here?
I have no intention of doing anything per se. Simply observing, of course.
Whatever you mean, Mr. Sholmes.
Well, having encountered some curious reading materials in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of the eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in my way home to see how our divested friend is faring. Gloomful room? At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is a superior option. Anyway, as I must commend you on your taste in books, my day has been a delight and cost me not a penny.
Ah, you! How dare you! Sherlock Holmes!
Oh, hey, look. I've had it, I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. That was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well.
My whole life be damned!
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean?
And there's much truth in Mr. Mustache's words. Huh? Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say, for the man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial.
What is that supposed to mean?
Mr. Natsume, what did you mean when you said just now about the trial tomorrow being cursed?
Oh, no. Why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it.
Oh, I see. That's really agitated him.
You don't mean this trial is cursed somehow?
Are you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper of the Bailey?
The Reaper? Oh no, what do you mean?
Oh, it's good music, you're right. Let's listen to it for a second. Man, the music in these games is so good. It's incredible.
Please, tell me, summarize it succinctly in 16 salient words.
No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever. Yeah, that's 16 succinct words.
Ah. Oh my goodness. Can it really be true? That was 16 words exactly.
Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances.
Mr. McGilded.
Oh, what? What? Am I? I am impressed, Miss Susato. You have an eye for detail.
Actually, Lord Chief Justice told us.
Mr. Sholmes?
Surely it can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted,
Lord Van Zeeks killed the man himself.
Oh no, he couldn't have, surely.
You have some wonderful notions. Sorry? The man isn't a mass murderer, he's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow.
Oh, yes. Why, of course he is.
Ah, of course he is, then. Why are you trying to scare me?
It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis.
Huh. What on earth do you mean by that?
Don't fear the reaper. He will take you down by the shore. His cup may be full of blood, and then you'll die once the case is over. Wow, wow, wow. Don't fear the reaper.
Van Zieks is quite an exceptional man. However, in London courts of law, exceptional does not quite equate to winning every case without exception.
Ah, that's good.
So Zeki-san looks like he's going to cry tears of joy.
As you are no doubt aware, in British criminal trial there is both judge and jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered by several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated.
Right.
Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for the matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling impostors as witnesses, and so on. By such underhanded means, those who want to are able to sway the jury, which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail.
But it means the wrong verdict can be passed.
And sadly, from time to time, my dear madam, it is simply the reality of the situation.
And that's all right.
However, those indicted by Lord Van Zieks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed.
Oh, my.
Though the adjudication may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom, within months they all disappear. It is most striking.
They disappear, but how?
By all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage, perhaps they fall onto the Thames and are drowned. Perhaps they suddenly overcome by a raging fever, or perhaps attacked by highwaymen.
Oh, no, no, no. No, no, no.
All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo.
Really got to learn the somber theme. Yeah, it's good.
I knew it. I'm a dead dodo done for doomed.
Cursed lodgings.
When you said accursed lodgings before, you were referring to your room at Mr. Garadeb's house, I assume. Do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed?
It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain. But I openly been in London a week before I started to notice a strange feeling in myself.
That didn't take long, then.
Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me, all the time, from dawn to dusk. So I shut myself away in my room, but even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away.
You must have been very lonely, having been away from your homeland for such a long time.
I've had to move a number of times, most recently to the Beaumont Briar Road, a week ago now.
Yes, why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient.
The rent is cheap, I have so little money it appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed, oops." He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late, so I told him, "If you have something to say, then say it, but if not, don't mention it in the first place."
Yes, well said.
But it was true. It was all to the truth.
You mean the room really is cursed, then?
Ever since I moved into...
My sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I awake fearing that I've been choked to death. And in my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm branded a killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits! If only there was someone, just one person on my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe me? Really? No one at all?
To believe? Yes, to believe. Mr. Sholmes. Me, Mr. Naruhodo. Pray, what can I do for you? It's about the case on the SS Buria, if you recall. The Buria, yes, that case, the one with the snake. Well, yes, at the time I was the suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story, and you helped us to investigate. I did I? Interesting. What do I want to know is why? Why did you believe in me?
I see, yes. You mean because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in a locked room?
Well, if you like, yes.
I'm a little surprised the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said, I didn't do it.
But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little.
Well, I did put you in handcuffs, and it's not because I'm kinky, though I am. I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor that which you were telling me.
Huh?
You see, the only thing I believe in are in those I choose to believe in.
What? What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
I make up my own mind about what is to be believed and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I'm concerned.
But I could have betrayed your trust.
In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion.
Meaning?
Whether or not one should trust another is in the final analysis down to itself. It's a matter of whether one can trust oneself.
Yes, he's right. Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
Huh? Whether or not I can believe in myself? Yo, this music.
A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself.
You were so right, Kazuma.
The power of friendship.
Determination.
Well, my dear fellows, it's time we were leaving, I believe.
Already?
Visiting hours are over. The guy will here shortly to escort us out. There is a restaurant near here that serves as excellent trout. Would you care to join me?
That's so rude. I haven't had a trout since I ate my lady friend back in 1969. You know, something smells fishy, but I don't know what. But I got a hunch it's a lady friend.
Oh dear, there is never enough time, is there? Mr. Natsume? If you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you.
Oh!
Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
As I said, I only experienced the British courtroom for the first time yesterday, and although the man I'm representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial.
Something crucial?
What to believe in, the defendant, justice, or the truth. How to believe, even.
Ooh, this music is bopping.
But I think I've finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts.
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo.
And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that in court.
Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end with every weapon available to me. So I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow.
Ah. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue.
Of course, Mr. Natsume.
It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was in many ways made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it.
Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end.
Oh! Oh, my brother!
Miss Susato,
Yes.
would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court?
Huh. Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant.
The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind. But it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me, and Mr. Sholmes believes in me now, too. So it's time. Time that I learned to believe in myself. Soseki-san has no one. He's all alone. So it's my job to help him, to fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all strength I can muster. To be continued. A continuación! Next time on Dragon Ball Z, we're going to court, baby. Will Goku survive his first foray into British court of law?
But, sir, I was only using the spirit bomb. I didn't actually mean to blow up the entire continent of Africa.
This is a war crime, Mr. Goku. You will hereby be sentenced to banishment from the planet Earth.
Aw, man. I swear it was Krillin.
What are you talking about, Goku?
Guilty! Thank you, Game of Life. You are the MVP, of course. And Zionation. And who else was here today? Yella, thank you. And Liam, thank you. Peter, Reitza. Milk. Who else was here? Wolf. Bakur. Mr. Krabs for the donations today. Again, thank you, Krabs. Coded. Coma. And if there's anybody else that I missed, maybe some, lurking. Oh, Peter was here too. I hope you have a great day. Mama Vita's watching The Bachelor right now. Normally this would be time where we watch something and I cook her dinner, but she's already had dinner today. She has pizza, so I don't have to make her any dinner tonight. And I'm not really the biggest fan of The Bachelor. So I think I'll skip that. So maybe, I'm so tired, but maybe we can do a quick short stream of some other game. Maybe one Isaac run perhaps or something. I don't know. But if I don't see you guys tonight, we'll definitely see you tomorrow. So I hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for your support, especially you, Game. You've been here like the whole time, and I'm really grateful for that. Thank you. See you guys soon. Take care, okay? Lots of love. Peace.